This is the Gore Club Podcast with Steve Vessel, Derek Sturgeon, and Death Metal Dave.
I'm ready whenever.
Oh shit!
I was born ready.
I was. We're all gonna take a drink, I guess. Okay.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time. Are we actually on right now? Is that what's happened?
Is that what's going on? We are on. Oh
Oh
wait.
fuck, we are on. We weren't even like babbling though. We just came on and we were like ready for it today. Yes, we're so prepared, like a comedian would be. A stand-up comedian.
Hey guys.
I'm never prepared.
We are
Never.
Welcome to the Gore Club Podcast. I'm Steve Vessel.
I'm Derek, and we have a special guest with us today, replacing Death Metal Dave.
My name is Ryan Riker.
Replacing.
Ryan Riker, famous local comedian. Famous? Would we say famous?
Loosely.
Loosely famous.
Semi. Can we do semi?
Semi-famous?
Yeah. Loosely sounds kind of bad. Semi.
Okay. He's a regular at the Comedy Caravan, one of like what fucking 3 comedy clubs that are left in Louisville.
2 maybe.
2, one of 2. So he's like he's
Kaiju
he's
gets it
halfway
going.
there in Kaiju. I
Or
think
3.
there's
Yeah,
3.
Kaiju's awesome.
See, I said 3. I was right. The comedian wasn't.
Yeah.
He has a show coming up. What's the date on that?
September 10th, 11th, and 12th at the Caravan Comedy Club with Johnny LaQuasto is going to be your feature or headliner. You've seen him on Snowpiercer, 205 Live, NXT, and then your feature is the very talented Melissa Doran.
Cool, man.
Talented.
Very like one of the top.
Okay, I was gonna say
Louisville
prove
comedi-
it, dude. Like,
Yeah,
talk
one
about
of the top comedians in Louisville.
So
I could
that's-
say I'm talented, and we know that's not true.
Yeah, we got the feature and a headliner. What the fuck are you doing?
I'm just here to run the show.
Oh, you're there to run. You're the MC.
I'm just here to run the show.
MC Riker.
MC Remix
Oh my
Riker.
God.
Remix Riker. That means you get like 3 sets though, right?
Yeah,
Technically, yeah.
Yeah.
You get to
I've
go
seen
through.
comedy shows.
Yeah.
MCs get to like do their bit, walk away, and think about their failure, and they got to come back like 20 minutes later if the crowd hates them. Be like, "Hey, I'm fucking back, baby."
Oh, sorry. Or if the person before like they hates them, then they're like they have to come in and like cover that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen
Yeah.
that. Like somebody bomb, you're like, what? Sorry
Yeah.
about that, everybody.
It sucks going on with a cold room. I mean, you always want them hot.
Is it awkward right now with COVID and everything?
How the fuck are you doing this?
It's honestly hit and miss. Like Thursday are kind of like the less crowded shows, but Friday and Saturday are like packed. Like I've seen like wall to wall as
COVID comedy.
You're
COVID
not making me think about going. I'm just
Yeah.
joking.
well they do enforce.
Okay, that's what I meant. Like, let's talk about some
masks.
safety.
They
here.
do enforce masks. They text or take temperatures
Yeah.
at the window. You can wear you have to wear your mask in the lobby, at the bar, but when you're at your table, free will. Me, I always wear my mask,
Yeah, I've seen that. I've
like
seen that.
in the
Not
lobby or in the showroom. I mean, I'm always wearing my mask, even when I'm on stage. I'll put it under my chin and then do the show.
Is
And
it
then-
awkward to be on stage and you look out and it's a crowd full of like half faces and you can't tell if they're smiling or not? Do you look at their eyes to see if they're smiling?
It's like Cobra Commanders out there. It's like,
Yeah.
Wrinkles,
fuck.
like you can see you can see the wrinkles, squinty
Oh,
eyes.
shut the fuck up. Are
I mean,
you serious?
I have LASIK, so I can
Oh,
see
yeah, I can
like
really
I can
see.
see laser vision.
Holy shit.
You're not focused on doing your comedy. You're focused on like their face fucking wrinkles.
Well, I mean,
Their face fucking wrinkles.
Their face fucking wrinkles.
they're doing. I mean, you're doing well if you see them. Wrinkle face. Okay, they're laughing. I'm doing good.
wrinkle face.
Wrinkle face.
Just clap.
Well, that's all lovely, Ryan, but you're here for a horror podcast, so let's just
I
say
am.
fuck all that, even though everybody should go to a show at the Comedy Caravan on what dates?
What?
September 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Damn, September 11th. That's a good day for comedy, huh, buddy?
Oh
It-
my god.
It is
For horror comedy.
It is.
right. It is.
You're doing September 11th comedy during a pandemic. You guys are fucking classy.
There might be one joke
I don't
coming.
think. Did you put that together? I was like, holy shit. Dude.
I did not. I was just lucky enough to have the time.
That's
No.
a good, it's a good weekend. That's a good spot, though. I mean, you got a big name on there.
I do.
Snowpiercer.
2 big names,
from the
yeah.
movie Snowpiercer or the series?
From the movie.
Oh, that's
From the
awesome.
movie. That's
yeah,
pretty
Tilda
badass.
Swinton's
Yeah.
fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something our audience is probably into. That
Yeah.
was pretty popular for, I guess, cult
Oh, it's
favorite
so
now.
fucked up,
And it's
yeah.
got its like
Great
TV
movie.
series and shit.
It's the same
now,
guy
so-
who did the host, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
same guy.
I love that film.
I love the host too. So
Good old Ed Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love manga,
Chris
so
Evans,
it's,
you know.
Snowpiercer is really awesome.
I really just know Ed Harris from Milk Money.
Oh,
What? Creep Show,
great movie,
motherfucker.
great movie.
Just
Great
milk money.
movie.
Creep Show, which actually
Just
is on our
boobies.
list because
Strippers and Derek.
today's thing is horror comedies.
Yeah, so we got a comedian here, so I decided, we should probably do like horror comedies, which, I mean, I guess technically we cover every fucking week. We did a whole episode on Full Moon.
Yeah.
We did Stuart Gordon. We talked about Rob Zombie's film career. So yeah, horror and comedy go
Goddamn,
hand in hand. And then Tremors last week.
Yeah,
Which is
it just seemed like a normal progression in where we're headed.
where we're headed. Yeah, but for our guest like Ryan Riker here, I like to ask a few questions. What was the first like horror movie you ever saw? You remember as a kid?
3 come to mind. Chucky, Dr. Giggles, and Troll 2.
The fuck?
Oh,
did
that's
you
awesome.
See Dr. Giggles.
My dad, I would always watch them with my dad, and he would always scare the hell out of me because he would always do the hee 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 laugh. It would just hee hee hee, whatever he did, it would just scare the hell out of me. Dark Man's up there too, So
That's good parenting right there. Dr. fucking Giggles. Riker here, he was the only person to stay up with me when Joe Bob returned. So we had the return of Joe Bob Riggs, 2 years ago now? Fucking 2.5 years ago? Forever, because time doesn't matter anymore during this pandemic.
Back when most people didn't give a fuck who he was.
Didn't care about it. I did like that invite. Maybe like 8 or 9 people came over for a 24-hour marathon. He's the only one that survived the whole thing with me.
Yep.
And my AC went out during this. So we literally sat it was like 90 degrees in my living room watching all these movies.
Drunk.
We only slept during Daughters of Darkness.
that was a messed up movie. Like it just
long
freaked me
pause.
out. Like what?
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that movie actually.
It's far from like a horror comedy routine, but the reason why I wanted him on this episode because there was some like comedy oriented movies on that, which like Basket Case and Reanimator, things like that are a little like funnier that he seemed to like more
Basket
so
Case,
than some of the more serious like horror films. So we'll get to those eventually. Right now, we'll just kind of start from the beginning of this horror
man.
comedy world. And it's kind of mind-boggling that this shit started really in the 1930s, right?
Oh yeah. Well, actually, you found one. Ryan actually did a little homework himself and pulled one. It was the Harold Lloyd.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was
I'm about to be replaced. I don't fucking do any homework. I just show
That's
up and
what's
start
great. Yeah.
talking on
And,
my
and
ass.
Dave cannot be here this week, so we actually I don't have the tablet of doom.
1920. Harold Lloyd short Haunted Spooks, but it did not do well at all. So like the first movie
None of the movies we like do
Yeah.
well, so that's okay.
So the first movie that did well was, Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein.
Well, I have to digress on that.
Well, he's got Bride of
Bride of
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein was, and it's kind of a great example of a lot of the horror comedies that I love, where it's not straight in your face funny.
Yeah.
It's
Well, it's not
really
really
dark
considered.
comedy.
Yeah, it's dark
really
comedy.
dark comedy.
And people never bring it up when they talk about horror comedies.
They
but
should.
It really is.
Yeah, in retrospect, it's definitely being more viewed that way by like just my kind of horror nerds. They're just like, oh, you have to go back and see that because it's so groundbreaking in so many ways. James Well didn't even want to do a sequel at all, and they pretty much made him because you have to think at this time in 1935 we were dead in the middle of the Depression. Nobody was going to movie theaters. Nobody gave a fuck.
So 2020 or like what year are we talking about?
Exactly. But they scrounging together a couple of pennies to go to the movie theaters was not on anybody's plate until Dracula came out. So horror saved Universal Studios, and it saved a lot of studios at the time. And that kind of fact kind of gets buried now, but especially when they became not acceptable.
I think most people saw the Universal Monster movies when they were a kid, and they never really rewatched them again. They just know they like the characters, that's why you see, like the vests you have, you'll see covered in like Universal Monsters and all the shirts and shit and tattoos. But I don't think a lot of people went back and watched these movies, honestly. I think they forget that Bride was that because they never fucking went back to watch it. They remember, you remember the hair. You remember what she looks like.
Yeah.
That's it. That iconic.
It's a
couple
fucking
iconic
Halloween
scenes.
mask. They don't realize how important, especially Bride of Frankenstein, is. It's one of the first horror sequels, and it was made by most of the same people who came back. And there's like a huge like gay subtext, which was not in your face at the time. Very much like let's say Fright Night or whatever, which is also considered a horror comedy. You have Ernest Thesiger comes in and he pretty much breaks up the wedding party in the movie, and he's like, no, you're not going to fuck your wife on her wedding night. You're going to come with me and make a man. Like, come on. There's a whole like a subtext, and it's fantastic. The music's amazing. I mean, we have so many movies to get to and at least try to mention, but we're going to try to dive into at least a few during each decade. But Bride of Frankenstein, if you have not seen that movie, you really need to. It's really important. The soundtrack is great. The cinematography is amazing. And Frank Whale, James Whale, who directed the first one and this one and Invisible Man, those are the movies that really helped spawn horror in the U.S. especially. And then the person who wrote it went on to do Gone with the Wind and things like that. He wrote Dracula.
Gone with the Wind's hilarious.
It's fucking, it's horrific. But it just shows you the level of where they were going to come, where they started. And then you go right into Abbott and Costello.
Abbott and Costello is man.
The whole series of films.
I watched those
the
pretty
horror
consistently. And I bought that Universal box set, a couple of years ago, back when I was in a different life. And I showed it to people thinking I feel like I love those movies because I saw them when I was a kid. I was like, there's no way this comedy holds up. Because to me, and people are going to get mad, but I don't think Three Stooges and all that shit holds up. When I try to go back and watch those old episodes sometimes that I liked as a kid, I don't fucking laugh at all.
Yeah.
Abbott and Costello still fucking rules. And anybody I've ever showed it to?
The Little Rascals are my thing.
Yeah. And they still, it's aged really well, that style of comedy that they do. I don't know whose idea it was to blend that. We need Abbott and Costello. And you know what? All the fucking Universal monsters need to be involved with them.
Right.
We need to take all these scary creatures and make this just fuck it. It's comedy now. It's all comedy.
And if you look it up, they did a movie almost every year. From the 40s almost to the 60s. That's
they were
impressive.
Really prolific.
They did Haunted House,
Hold That Ghost was one of the first horror comedies they did.
It's crazy, and it's not dirty humor. It's actually fun humor. It's just fun PG humor that kids will laugh at, that anyone will laugh at. And I enjoyed watching because I did watch a few of them, and it's just cute, fun humor. And I hate saying cute, but I mean cute.
It's hilariously cute
in a good way, not cheap cute. It's actually very hilarious. Just to see the banter between them, because they just riff off each other, and they work very, very well with each other.
Yeah, they do.
Oh no, they were an awesome duo, and the comedy isn't timely. It's not that's a product of its time. It all holds up because the way they write the humor in that PG style of way. I couldn't imagine trying to do that now, though. It's like Seth Rogen and James Franco meet Jason Voorhees or some shit like that.
It would work on some level.
Or Adam Sandler and Friends. Which should more than likely
Adam
be
Sandler meet the Mummy. Yeah, I definitely. They tried that with fucking the Mummy with Tom Cruise, but it wasn't supposed to be funny. But goddamn, it is.
Yeah, it's funny on accident. I think Scooby Doo's got the market on that. Just let Scooby Doo do its thing with all the crossovers and shit.
Let them have it, and it helped for Abbott and Costello because they were owned by Universal, so they could have all those monsters. Vincent Price did one of his first appearances as a horror icon as the Invisible Man in the end of Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. That's almost
cool.
a 2-hour movie.
Yeah, it's a long fucking movie.
Is.
I know. When I went back, because that's the first one I went to, and I got that Universal box set.
Yeah.
I fucking fell asleep the first time. And I was laughing my ass off the first 45 minutes. Then I'm like, I'm dying on the inside. I thought turning this on at 1 a.m., we're done at 2.
Yeah, it's a long one.
It's a long fucking movie.
There's a lot of actors in that they brought out of the out of their cast of characters, and it's one of the last times. I think it is the last time that Bela Lugosi ever played Dracula. He's played vampires since that part, but that was the last time.
Well, speaking of vampires, what the fuck is Fearless Vampire Killers?
Oh, we're gonna jump into the 60s.
Explain yourself.
Fucking
yeah. Let's go through these decades.
If you want to talk about how much I love a movie, but I hate the filmmaker, that's Roman Polanski.
Roman Polanski made that movie?
Yes.
That's why I didn't see it.
And that movie it's
now
fucking
making that up.
It's fucking great. It's one of Sharon Tate's. I think she did 2 or 3 more movies after that before she died or was killed. And it's set in Transylvania. It has Freddie Main in it, who actually is in The Howling 2. It's got what's his name? Jack McCory. God damn it. He's actually the director of in The Exorcist, who gets thrown out the window. Oh yeah. And there's so many really. That movie, it's shot still in 3 Technicolor. It's Roman Polanski at his height. He hadn't even made Rosemary Baby yet.
Are they actually fearless vampire killers?
Yes. It's Roman Polanski and Jack McGowan is his name. It just pops in my head.
Roman Polanski acts in this?
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
He acted in a lot of his films.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my favorite Polanski films, which is not a horror comedy, is called The Tenant. But he sucks. I fucking hate that guy.
Oh, he's fucking awful. He's made some great movies.
He should be in prison.
Shit. Yeah. No, he'll never go to prison. He's just going to die.
Yeah, but if we can backtrack a bit, Little Shop of Horrors, Ghost of Mr. Chicken. We the Fearless Vampire Killers.
Ghost of Mr.
There's
Chicken.
so many movies that there's
Everyone's grandma likes that movie.
Don Knotts, man.
Don fucking Knotts.
Well, it kind of goes back to we've been saying that a lot. Is that when you're a horror fan, you grasp on anything you can at the time when you have it.
Yeah.
So in the 60s, there wasn't a whole lot of that kind of stuff going on. I mean, you either had at that point you had something you couldn't see as a kid, or you had that.
Yeah, I mean, Ghost of Mr. Chicken, fuck it. That came on TV all the fucking time. My grandma was all about it.
So this
that bitch got circled. If she got the fucking newspaper and it was in a TV guide, she got that marker out. It was like fucking Ghost of Mr. Chicken
We
time,
all
6
did
p.m.
that,
on
man.
Tuesday.
So I'm gonna get some heat for this, but
Please.
I do not like Little Shop of Horrors.
Now the original, I can understand it. It's very low budget. The cast isn't fantastic, but everyone remembers Jack Nicholson's part. The remake, if you say that about the remake, I might punch you out of the room. But hey,
He might be thinking of the remake. I think he is thinking
We're
of the
into the
remake.
80s yet,
no
buddy.
comment. No, yeah. Well,
Let's just fighting. Fuck it. Who cares?
musicals, I'm not really a fan of.
You're not a fan of musicals, so you and I can't hang out and ever.
I mean, not really. It's just
So how the fuck if we run into a gang of hooligans, how are we going to win a fight if you don't like musicals?
You got to know how to do West Side Story, these motherfuckers, and
Okay.
you don't want to. Oh,
I
Derek,
do-
why'd you bring this guy?
I do like West Side Story.
Found him-
I do.
found him on the street.
Sharks in the Jets. I do like.
We're going to get him tonight.
That's like the main musical. How can you not like musicals and then like West Side Story? There's nothing more musical than West Side Story.
Yeah, there is. There's
What?
what's that woman? She's in a field. Sound of Music.
Shut the fuck up.
Sound of Music. Sound of Music.
He's talking about Mary Poppins versus the Nazis.
No, Sound of Music.
I know it's what
Yeah,
that movie
it's-
is. Yeah, it's Mary Poppins. That's the same actress.
They should have called it Woman in a Field. You should start naming movies.
I like Woman in Field, but
Woman in a
versus the Nazis.
Field. Yeah, Woman in Field versus Nazis.
Dress.
That goes into like the horror genre.
But we were talking about on the whiteboard. There must be 200 movies up there that we're going to try to at least mention, and then talk about ones that we really, really love. Like I've got Dr. Phibes up there. We can really get into Young Frankenstein.
Young Frankenstein was my shit for a long period of
so
time.
fucking great.
That still holds up really
It's got a
well
musical
too.
part in there. Is that a problem? Is that okay?
I mean, I like Frankenstein.
Do you like Mel Brooks?
I do like Frankenstein.
Oh,
You like
good,
Mel
man.
Brooks? You got beef with Mel Brooks?
Because we're going to come back to him.
I'm down with the Mel.
He's
I'm
a-
down,
he's
I'm
a-
down with Mel.
He's always around. He won't go away. No, Young Frankenstein was a fun one. That's probably another one that was on TV just a lot when I was a kid. AMC would play the fuck out of that.
Yeah.
More so than probably actual Frankenstein.
He cared so much about the Universal movies. It's funny we're still talking. We're like 5 seconds away from talking about Abbott and Costello. He got the guy who created all the original electronic shit from Frankenstein, and he got his stuff out of a friggin' storage facility, and it's in that movie.
That's awesome.
That's fucking
Yeah.
nuts. I think his name is Eric Strickfaden.
I always like you have the hard facts. But then you like what I like about your shit sometimes, not to go to this fucking board that people can't see, but then you'll have like Attack of the Killer Mattress.
Maters.
Maters?
Yeah.
Mater. I thought they said Attack of the Killer Mattress.
Well,
and I was like, what the fuck is Attack of the
it should
Killer
have one T,
Mattress?
but it's got two, so it's like
Do
matters.
you mean tomatoes?
Yeah, I just
And
shortened
you're
it.
just trying to be fucking
in
funny.
1978, Attack of the Killer Maters.
I hate this so much.
I
know
love
what
that
Attack of
fucking
the
movie.
Killer. I like the cartoon. Do you remember the cartoon series?
Barely.
Wow.
Barely. I remember the sequel more than anything. That's weird. I guess because that came on late night television more than
That
the
was
original.
That was more of like a we talk about Monster Vision a lot, but that franchise was USA Up All Night all the way.
It's so fucking fun.
It's fun. It fit with their whole their teenage bullshit. It was fun and over the top and fucking stupid.
It's funny. I don't have it on there, but the sequel to
Did you
the blog.
delete it? Is that what that fucking blank spot is?
Well, I erased a bunch of man. I overwhelm either myself.
I
or
know
everybody at this
you
fucking
get
table.
so deep into this shit, man.
I'm sorry.
and I'm like, dude, there's too many movies. We
I
got
know.
an hour and a half.
We've got an hour and a half maybe to get the fuck out of here. But I got to mention that Attack of the Killer Tomatoes was always shown, at least when I was a kid, with Son of Blob. And that was directed by Larry Hagman, who was in this TV show called Dallas, whatever. But that was pretty much a horror comedy as well.
Just write off Dallas as Dallas whatever, like he didn't do shit.
Dallas
but
whatever.
Dallas, he fucking did Dallas.
Larry Hagman.
With American Treasure, Patrick fucking Duffy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're still in the 70s. We're getting there. We got a few more decades to go before we're out of this fucking episode.
One thing about Attack of the Killer
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes is when I was younger, I would go to Red Giraffe, and that's the
Video store.
the cover art that you all mentioned. I think two episodes ago. I remember
Every episode.
I remember
We can't help it.
I remember so much of these movies just by the cover art.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, that's a big thing.
Shocker. Never seen Shocker, but I remember, Yellow orange jumpsuit,
Just
jumpsuit,
Steven
and the,
electric
It's just
chair.
me in an electric
Yeah.
chair.
so like so many movies I remember just by the cover art, even cardboard cutouts that they would have,
The
like
standees are the
displays.
shit,
Yeah,
man,
and,
yeah.
like, it just so much because that's
I've got the witch trap one over here on the wall, the old little video store counter standee.
Did you ever watch Attack
Exactly.
of the Killer Tomatoes?
I have not.
So you don't understand that covers bullshit. You haven't been let down yet. How
has? Who has?
exaggerated that fucking cover is.
So I should not watch it.
No, you totally should.
Oh, you
Just
should, but lower your expectations.
You just look-
every movie
So it's
you
not
ever
like-
see for the rest of your life.
set the
starting right
movie
now.
art next to your TV while you're watching the movie.
Oh, it's a
Just-
bummer.
And just
Yeah.
compare
There's no
contrast.
budget for this film.
Yeah, there's no
And-
budget. It's fun though.
God damn, it's fun.
That's what you did in like the 80s and 70s. You just made really cool cover art for movies that cost no money. And it's brilliant. It's a lot better than what we do now. We just take a picture of the star
Floating
and put like a
down.
fucking dark background and some fucking shitty text. Yeah, man. Then you got when we jump into the 80s. Let's go to when I'm alive. Let's go to the 80s. When we get a,
We're just gonna jump over Love at First Bite. I'm gonna kick you.
I don't know what the fuck Love at First Bite is.
that a song?
It's a great film, but we can skip
It
over
does
'cause
sound like
I'm gonna
it
do an
belongs in
entire
the 80s.
episode on that movie. It's one of the first films like it's a horror comedy, but it's oh god, what's it called?
Sounds like a Cinderella album.
Yeah, it's the satire version of that. You know, when they started like Young Frankenstein.
Like
It's
a
like
parody?
obviously about what is it?
Like a parody?
Yeah, thank you. I stump myself
welcome.
sometimes
Okay.
there. Carry on.
It's okay. That's why I'm here.
Yeah. Take in an old classic horror character and just put him in contemporary America and be like, this is going to be funny. And it is.
Any recognizable actresses in that?
George Hamilton is Dracula, who's always had like the perpetual fucking
George
tan.
Hamilton is?
Yeah, he
I
actually
gotta-
made the movie happen. But he was
it,
he
I
was
gotta
always
watch it
known.
now.
Besides whether you give a fuck about his ridiculous career in movies and things, he always had a tan. So watching him be the pale faced Dracula walk around in New York City is hilarious.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah,
Now I want to see it. It's probably not anywhere either. You can fucking go home and look on
it's on
Netflix.
YouTube right now.
Oh, well, that makes sense. YouTube is like the best, like, it's like the cesspool of just like all the garbage nobody wanted to see
Yeah.
or wanted on DVD.
YouTube and Tubi.
Put it on YouTube or Tubi.
we talk
Tubi's
about
like,
Tubi like every 2 episodes.
yeah, Tubi should sponsor us.
But you want to get to the 80s, and I've got a lot of 80s.
Well, I
up
like
there.
that the 80s kick off with the 2 werewolf movies.
The Howling came out
Howling,
first.
oh, fuck it, who cares?
Fuck
and American
you.
Werewolf in London. American Werewolf in London's the better movie.
Okay, you know what? We're going to get into this.
Here we go. Oh, baby.
The thing about the Howling and the thing about the American Werewolf in London is they both came out the same year, and they were both pretty much made by the same special effects company that Rick
Yeah.
Baker got stolen by. It's a story that most horror nerds know. John Landis had the idea of this kind of thing years before, and him and Rick Baker were supposed to team up and do it. Rick Baker got hired by Joe Dante. They were going to start making it. They actually did start designing the werewolves and all that stuff. John Landis got wind of it. He's like, whoa, what about mine? So he takes him, leaves his crew, which is now headed by Rob Bottin, to finish The Howling. The Howling's made for $1 million. American Werewolf in London is made by 10. And you compare those 2 movies together, The Howling's a better movie. That's just my opinion. Go ahead.
We're bringing money
You can
into
go
this?
ahead because it fucking matters.
We're
If I make a
bringing
movie for
finances?
$1,000, you make it for 10, and yours is still is good. Mine's better.
Like $10 or
If mine
like
com-
10,000?
Fuck you guys, man.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
So my opinion is,
If you make it
without
for
the
less
Howling,
and it still just holds up as well, that makes it better to me.
if I get rid of the Howling,
Also like the
then
comedy,
the
man.
Howling 3 doesn't exist.
Ah.
So therefore, American Werewolf in London's a better movie.
And see, Derek
Because-
knows how much I love The Howling, so he's enjoying this right now.
Because all American Werewolf in London created was American Werewolf in Paris.
Yeah,
and
it's true.
it's bad, but its biggest fall is Bush.
It's a funny movie.
It's a Bush
Talk
album.
about, it's a horror comedy.
I do like American Werewolf in Paris.
I know you do, 'cause you like
I like
Bush.
the
love it.
condom chewing
I love it so
scene.
much.
That's fucking great. That's comedy gold right there.
I
He's
hate-
acting like it's bubble gum.
I hate that band so much.
Oh,
I can't-
Bush?
Yeah.
They're a good band.
They play Mouth like 8,000 times in that movie.
We're gonna get the CD stuck in his car.
Just because
and, it's
you
gonna be
had one
Glycerine
bad
on
night
rotate.
hearing Mouth, like you went
Glycerine.
I know one
Come
time.
on, man.
So when I had American Werewolf in Paris on DVD, I got drunk and I fell asleep on my fucking couch. And you ever had that moment where like we were fucking hammered and a TV remote just seems like impossible to get?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where my remote's at, but the DVD like end scene kept playing.
Oh,
and
no.
And it was looping Bush's mouth, and I just kept getting woken up by like your mouth, like that fucking awful lyric.
Yeah.
And
That was before they just started like go back into the
Yeah.
movie. They would just keep playing the fucking screen.
ever since then, I've hated that movie and I've hated Bush, but not as much as I hate The Howling 3, and that's why
marsupials, I
American
think.
Werewolf in London wins.
Yeah. I love The Howling too. I don't care about it. Anybody says fuck you if you don't like it.
No, people are saying things right now about it.
I hope so.
Pe-
Sybil
people-
Danning and Christopher Lee can take a shit and not eat it, so it's cool.
Aren't they both dead?
No. I just met Sybil Danning like last year. She's amazing.
Oh shit! Yeah, she's not dead.
No, there's a picture of her right behind your head, actually, from The Howling 2. Right
I'm
there.
not turning that. I got a neck.
It actually looked, but it is actually behind his
turn
head.
I got a neck cramp.
I mean, if you want to kind of rush through these, we can. I
Well,
don't want
some of
to.
these,
Some of these are fucking gold.
I mean, we
and
can't have a
super important.
a lot of these and listeners, like, I know we're annoying as fuck sometimes because we just bounce around. Some of these movies will be on other episodes. Like, we can have this whole
a good
werewolf
point.
battle on a werewolf fucking episode. There's a lot of these like comedies and stuff that we've talked about in the past. As I said, we did Full Moon. We did like Reanimator, which we'll talk about on this one, but we did Stuart Gordon's fucking career and
Yeah.
Tremors and all that.
We're planning to do a Peter Jackson episode. We're going to
Yeah.
do a Sam Raimi episode.
So if there's anything we ever gloss over, I promise you can either find it a full breakdown on a previous episode of us bitching or a future episode
Or
is going to
enjoying
happen.
it.
Or eventually YouTube videos because I don't know how to shut the fuck up anyway, so I need more content. But after that, yes, Saturday the 14th, which has become a cult favorite. I've realized people that are in their late 30s/40s really love this movie. I never paid any attention to it. I think I saw it once as like a teen.
Yeah.
But since like Facebook and social networking, I constantly see my friends that are a little bit older than me post about that fucking movie.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just a weird, like very specific like age range. I see love this fucking movie. I'm like, did this come on like every weekend at one point? Or
It's funny that you mentioned that because I have just recently put up on our YouTube channel, there is a entire playlist. It's called Awesome 80s Movies, and it is on there. So Saturday the 14th is on that playlist if you want to go through our YouTube channel. Bam.
oh, well, we have a playlist.
Yeah, it's on our YouTube channel.
Oh,
That's
shit.
definitely. I need to.
You need to check it out.
Yeah, that's one.
Ryan
thing that
Riker,
I
thank you, sir.
I've seen it on Amazon Prime, but I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah.
I think Amazon Prime. Yeah.
It's on Prime. Yeah, it pops up all the time. You know, especially like when if you watch Friday the 13th, the suggested one's like right after that. So hey, you want to watch Saturday the 14th, which you.
Student Bodies,
Oh,
Creep
Student
Show. We
Bodies.
got to talk about Creep
Well,
Show.
Creep
I know we're
Show-
going to do a George Romero episode.
We'll do Romero and we'll probably end up doing Creepshow's like my favorite
How
Romero.
important that fucking movie is to the 80s and this film.
And it's fucking brilliant.
And it's a left turn for George Romero.
Everything about that movie is fucking great.
Right.
It's from like Stephen King's fucking character, which is fucking brilliant,
Jordy Verrill
to Leslie Nielsen.
playing a badass.
Playing a fucking badass.
Ed Harris doing his disco dance.
Milk Money Ed
Don't
Harris.
let go. Come on, man.
Hey, those dance moves.
Snowpiercer. Ed Harris.
Turn that down. Sorry, guys.
And
Never-
is Creepshow the first like movie that had like short movies come out in
Anthology?
it?
No, not at all.
No,
But it
it's-
was the first one in the 80s that most people are going to remember because, one, the director, the writer, and some of the actors are fantastic. And the colors they used, they made it sure that it was, they wanted the audience to know, like, this is based on a 50s comic. So all the colors are really heightened, kind of like this fucking studio is. It's like greens and reds and purples. It looks like a Basil Gogos painting, if you know who that is. He does the covers of all these old famous monsters of Filmland. You know, he does Misfits albums, whatever. But his covers are pretty much painted on the walls of that film. And Tom Savini's special effects are amazing. And he's trying to branch out from just doing slasher films. And he's like, here's an opportunity to do monsters.
Yeah, and
Fucking awesome.
I'm a big fan of like anthology films.
And
but
Joe Hill is the little kid.
Yeah, young Joe Hill in it.
Yeah.
Credited as what was his name, Joseph King or some shit like in the credits. It's something weird. They actually call him by his like actual full name in it. I'm a big fan of these anthology films, but honestly, most of them aren't good.
No.
Creepshow is one of the few that actually every story is great. And I remember like from the fucking cake to the monster and
Even the sequel.
to like fucking roaches. You know, all that shit. You know, you remember all of that.
Kill the fucking
you know, and that's-
racist asshole at the fucking penthouse. It's
and
great.
and
Yeah.
the sequel is super fucking underrated. You know, people like to shit on it because it's fun to shit on sequels, and it's starting to finally get its like following now, man.
It's a good
But that's
fucking
a
sequel.
great sequel. It's not as good as the first, but it's still for a sequel. It's fucking great.
And I know we're probably going to jump over it, but I've got to talk about National Lampoon's Class Reunion.
Yeah,
If either one of you seen this
Nope,
film.
I have not.
I picked this movie up on a VHS. It's on that wall in like a fucking dollar store. And I'd never heard of it because it's just one of those movies just nobody's ever heard of, it seemed like. It's got Garrett Graham from, he plays Bud the Chud, and we can't go without talking about Bud the fucking Chud.
Bud
He is
the
Bud
Chud.
He's in Terror Vision. He's in all these things, but it's basically one of the first spoof on the slasher genre, and it came right out of like 1982. And it's the same story of every slasher film, but the whole thing is set up so well. It's National Lampoon's, I think their second or third movie. They did like Animal House and something else maybe. It bombed so horribly bad, they pretty much buried it. And then they put it on some shitty, really bad recorded VHS that I have. And even for an old VHS, it looks bad. I think somebody had discovered it and they're going to put it out on either Vinegar Syndrome or somebody, hopefully. I think I've seen that they're going to put it out. Maybe it's Synapse. I can't remember. But that film, if you have not seen it, you can seek it out. Please do. It's one of those unsung slasher comedies that nobody talks about. We talk about Student Bodies. We talk about all these other ones. National Lampoon's Class Reunion. Check it out, goddammit.
Anyway, Slumber Party Massacre. I didn't want to completely no-sell what you just said, but then you didn't turn your phone volume down. No, I'll check that out, man. That's one I haven't heard of. And I also want to watch that Love at First Bite with fucking George Hamilton. What the fuck? It is kind of funny that this jumps right into Slumber Party Massacre, which we spent a lot of time talking about fucking part 2 last week, which is all about the electric guitar love, which is my favorite thing in the whole world, is the driller killer. But then, the first one, he's not so cool.
Yeah, I know. And I actually did that costume as a Halloween costume last year.
And
nobody got it.
Because it's a shitty costume.
Oh, it's so easy, but the drill is the most important thing. I get that down pat. But
you're such a horror nerd, and you landed on the fucking most basic costume.
I look like some rock and roll dude with no hair, pretty much, and some blood on him in a power drill from 1975.
Exactly like Andrew Dice Clay.
I'm going to kick your ass.
Oh, that's part 2. That's
part 2. But goddamn it, that's tougher because those leathers cost money, and I didn't have that.
You should have did it. Well, and you would build that fucking guitar. You don't have the special effects.
Slumber Party Massacre is a great example of it's not like in your face funny.
No, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
It's a funny movie.
The music and the way everything's set up and the way people react to things. It's just one of those horror comedies. It's not like, whoa, that's great. It's really subtle comedy.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that kind of shit.
No, I like stuff like that too, because a lot of stuff from the 80s, which none of it is really on this board, but there's a lot of it that's just unintentionally funny, because it's like that. We all get obsessed with this whole so bad it's good type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas with Slumber Party Massacre, the comedy is pretty much intentional. At least I feel like it is. Unless they got me, Even with part 2, like I said, that fucking over-the-top dude with the guitar blatantly ripping off Nightmare on Elm Street. I think the cop's name is Craven. Wasn't that? Krueger.
Yeah.
And then someone else, though, had a reference to Craven. And then I can't remember maybe it's the street that they live on or something like that.
It could, it also, for some reason I can't remember, but it also is the 80s, though. At that point in time, like Fred Decker, all those guys were sticking Wes Craven's name and David Cronenberg and,
Oh, just little winks and nods here
absolutely.
And there. Then you have Is that Ghostbuster?
Ghostbusters, because I write fest.
Oh, okay. I was going to start talking about Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I had to slap it up
going,
there.
Actually,
it's obvious. It's an obvious horror.
Do you
comedy.
call it like a horror movie though? Really?
Originally, it was supposed to be a horror film, and it's more fun. It's
more
fun. And then you get that cast. I mean, John Belushi was actually supposed to do the Bill Murray character, I believe, and then of course,
Yeah, I just have a hard time putting that one in even Gremlins in the genre. I feel like they're more of comedies, almost family comedies.
Oh, absolutely.
That happen to have horror type things like ghosts and monsters and shit. But
I think it goes along with what you're talking about. With you come out of the 70s and it's really hardcore grind, and then the 80s everything's more whimsical. Everyone's like tongue in cheek.
Everything's fun.
It's a lot more
80s.
fun.
Yeah, I mean,
you can get away with more.
There's still some brutal shit. Yeah, well, that's the Friday the 13th franchise about that.
But if you add some jokes, you can get away with it. Make your blood, was it Tang? What the fucking McDonald's?
Oh, the orange high C Tremor blood,
High C, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it had to be. If you change the color of blood, it changes everything, which makes no sense to me.
Ghostbusters 2, I think, is better than Ghostbusters 1.
That's so crazy that I invited him here.
Yeah, I think we're gonna just strangle you.
Don't you? Do you want people to come to your comedy show?
I think it's the slime, it's the Statue of Liberty. They're moving it with the old Nintendo joystick. I mean, to me, that made it to be kind of cool.
Well, and it's directed way more towards children. That's a great example of a sequel in the 80s where they took the sequel and are like, you know what, we're going to make it funnier. We're going to make Gremlins 2 funnier. Which it works for those two movies, but I was not happy. I was disappointed. It's very much like Army of Darkness. We haven't even gotten to the 90s yet. Well, I was so disappointed by Army of Darkness.
We both have completely different feelings about that, but that's going to go with the age range. Right. And kind of what you're hitting at here is, for me, when I first saw Ghostbusters 2, I liked it. And then when I went back, 13, 14 years ago and buying them on DVD. I was like, why the fuck did I like this movie?
Yeah, if it wasn't for the cast, I wouldn't give a fuck.
But I can understand, like, as a kid and a young teen, why I would like Ghostbusters 2 more than the first one. There's a solid chance of that because it's more fun too, and like more whimsical and definitely more kid oriented. And as an adult, the nostalgia alone could keep, it could still stay above part one because of just that same reason why, as we said earlier, I like fucking Bud the Chud and shit like that.
And they're directing. They had a cartoon getting ready to come out, so they had to make drop the age range of somebody who's going to go out and watch that movie. They had to sell toys. They had to make sure that you were going to come see it. So it worked out for the studio.
That happens a lot.
Make it fun.
That happens a lot in the 80s. I mean, Freddy Krueger, which we don't have Nightmare on Elm Street on this list, but really after part 3, it's a horror comedy.
Oh, it's straight up. It's just like Child's Play.
Yeah. I mean, the second one is as dark as it can possibly fucking be, and then Dream Warriors happens, and they realize they're like, holy shit, this is the most popular one that we've ever done. He's going to get funnier, and he's going to have a TV series. We're going to do dolls for kids. I mean, people weren't collecting, adults like us weren't collecting action figures back then, really. Not like that. Not like horror movies and stuff. It was like, your Star Wars dorks. That's pretty much it. All of a sudden, like, there's Freddy dolls for kids.
It was a big fucking
Freddy
deal.
dolls,
There's actually sitting one right behind Ryan's face.
Yeah, and all this stuff for kids. There's a Build-A-Freddy,
Oh, I remember that.
Which is a really weird thing, because it's like, especially given like some of the context of what he did when he was alive, it's almost like you have a little pedophile doll for your kid, which is really strange.
They just kept downplaying all that, though.
Yeah, they started ignoring it all. But
they could have. They would have made him a fucking Big Mac character.
Yeah.
Oh God, Hamburglar and Freddy. It's all in a heartbeat.
I actually slept with a Freddy doll. I love Freddy.
You can't have mine.
I love Freddy so much that I slept with.
Yeah,
you made it sticky, didn't you?
But that really shows you how they started going towards comedy to have that mass audience. Because Freddy like went from being like this dark, burnt up fucking psychopath to just like, hi kids, I'm gonna kill you now. Welcome to prime time, bitch. And always every kill has to be a one-liner. It gets worse later in the series. I like Dream Warriors and Dream Master, but even going to Dream Master, there's like that fucking karate scene.
The karate scene, the beach scene.
Invisible, the beach scene. And then we get to part 5, and part 5 tries to be dark again.
Yeah.
But he throws in so much fucking comedy. Like all the scenery's dark as fuck, probably darker than any other Nightmare. But it's probably the worst Nightmare too. Because there's only like a few kills. And he's still like being like really fucking goofy. Like that whole fucking time.
They have to lighten up the mood. Yeah.
And then Freddy's dead. Freddy's dead.
We're actually going to do a retrospective on this entire
we'll talk
series.
And my main thing with the Nightmare is just it's the best example of a series going from like, hey, we are fucking straight horror and we're terrifying to like, oh, this is a comedy and kids are going to have Freddy Krueger dolls in their bed.
Yeah, next to Batman on the shelf at Walmart.
Or
Target or whatever the fuck.
He's just not scary anymore. I'm listening, like I'm 6 years old listening to Dawkins and shit, you know, because of it, and watching like Freddy's. I went to the movies to see Freddy's Dead. That's how crazy
you had
it was.
to. It's the 3D glasses, right?
I think I was maybe 7 when that came out.
It was a big fucking deal.
And I went with my step grandma and my mom to see Freddy's Dead. There's no other movie my mom would have fucking took me to like that at that time. But he was so goofy and shit at that point.
Yeah.
And even watch the trailer for that movie. It doesn't look like a horror movie at all. They show like the fucking like the Wizard of Oz shit and all that happening in the trailer.
Him flying through the. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And it totally was. I was laughing. I'm a kid. I'm not scared at all watching this fucking movie.
They did their job well.
They did their job. Yeah, that's fair. But that's my only like really gripe about this horror comedy genre is that things that should be serious and franchises I really liked sometimes buy way too far into it because they realize that's what the masses want. And then it starts to get like, I don't keep them fucking separated sometimes.
If that genre hadn't started out that way, it wouldn't have been a big deal. If let's say Freddy's Dead was a brand new movie, it'd be different. You may even look at it different. You might even be one of your favorite films. But since you remember Nightmare on Elm Street, and then now it's Freddy's Dead, it's not even Nightmare on Elm Street anymore. It's like Jason X. It's like
and you can't take like a.
I like full moon movies. I would probably like fucking Freddy's Dead more if it was just Freddy's Dead.
Yeah, and they're not, without adding all that mythology to it, like that was his like daughter or whatever in that one somehow, and all that bullshit. But let's just get the fuck off the Nightmare franchise because we will do like a whole retrospect of this.
Freddy's Dead is my favorite, by the way.
Toxic Avenger,
another franchise that went way crazy. And the first one was crazy enough, but it's extremely violent.
Yeah, I mean everything with trauma, and I think you haven't seen Toxic Avenger, right? You probably just know what he looks like.
I know the cover art.
You know exactly what he looks
green
like.
and he's holding the.
Yeah,
I got the little toys up on the shelf.
yeah. I mean, there's
the original ones.
Toxie, which you
Toxic
would saw,
Crusader.
and like which was another going back to things turning into like a kids thing. Toxic Avenger was never made for kids.
That first one, hell no.
How the fuck did Lloyd Kaufman hustle this into a cartoon deal? And his first introduction to Lloyd Kaufman, I think, was Joe Bob, right? When we watched. So they did, what did they show? War. They showed Trauma's War, which is also
Yeah, and that's one of his biggest
Gross.
bombs.
Yeah.
And it's really wild how they showed that on Joe Bob, yeah.
over-the-top comedies, which is like super offensive and over-the-top, but it has its place in film history due to how it bombed and how Lloyd Kaufman can just hustle. But going based off that, how the fuck did he get that cartoon made?
Even he talks about that. He doesn't know.
How would anybody see the
To be-
Toxic Avenger and go, you know who we're going to market this to? We're going to make action figures of?
Yeah. Comic books. I have all the
Toxic.
comics, the original
There's
ones.
coloring
Yeah.
books.
I don't have those, but yeah.
I have one still. I bought it at a fucking thrift store actually like 2 months ago.
That's awesome.
So I have my Toxie. I'm never going to color it, but it's insane to me that some kids were at like Walmart and that little color. Remember they used to have that coloring book section right next to magazines. I don't know if they still do or not, but you'd have like My Little Pony and then fucking Toxic Avenger was right there.
Yeah. Oh, they marketed it well because it's extremely violent superhero movie that's not really based on a comic book. So what they did is it's like the opposite. They made it a comic book character.
God, man, that's. I mean, I love those movies. I love every single one of those pieces of shit.
Oh, and the other ones are bad. Talking
They're
about a franchise that
really
just really goes bad.
Hey, they got
But
Lemmy.
I love them.
They got Lemmy involved.
Hell yeah.
Once you get Lemmy, I'm sold. Yeah, that's a fun franchise. And then like Once Bitten.
But that's a great. It's a great. The difference is like Toxic Avenger is extremely violent and fucked up movie, and you go right into Once Bitten. I have it written down. That's what we're going to do.
What
that.
was Once
Same
Bitten
year.
rated, by the way?
What was it like? The
Was
rating?
it a PG-13 or R?
I really don't know because there's no real nudity. Actually,
think there
there's
is,
none.
isn't
Is
there?
there? No.
Maybe the picture frame
And there's not even-
of.
Yeah, with her painting
Miss
on the
Bliss.
wall.
Wasn't that Miss Bliss from Saved by the Bell?
No, it wasn't Miss Bliss.
Oh, no. I can't remember her name all of a sudden.
No,
God damn
no,
it.
that wasn't Miss Bliss.
I thought it was. Like a
I was
younger,
thinking, like,
a
right
younger
now,
She
we had a-
was a huge
No.
supermodel at the time.
A younger
Younger Miss
Bliss.
Bliss.
Once Bitten came out in '85, dude. Good Morning Miss Bliss is like '88.
Hell yeah.
How
3
the
years
fuck
She
later.
just progressed later. I mean, I don't know. I could have swore it was Miss Bliss.
No, it's not Miss Bliss.
I mean, it's a great movie either way. I mean, it's
I want
Miss Bliss, no Miss Bliss. I'm still.
I like his story of it's fucking Miss Bliss just attacking in love with Jim Carrey,
Yeah.
which that also has like the prom scenes and the dance off,
Yeah.
which is like an '80s staple, you know.
Yeah, you got to have,
Good
you have
old
to have the montage and you have to have
Pat
the dance
Benatar.
off, the dance scene.
I really like that movie.
Like Night of the Creeps has
And
that. You know?
We just rewatched. I just rewatched that one maybe 2 months ago, and I remember when I watched it, I didn't remember it being as vulgar as it actually is, but it's pretty fucking up
Once
there,
Bitten?
man. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
but maybe because I watched it on Comedy Central all the time back in the day.
We
And
had
I think that
a-
kind of, we've talked about that before on the PG-13 episode.
Yeah.
It's like there's so many of these movies that we remember fondly because we watched them on television so much. It was on TV, USA, Comedy Central. And then you watch the VHS or you watch it on HBO and you're like, where did those boobs come from?
Right?
What are those? Yeah.
Well, they played Once Bitten on USA all of the time.
Yeah. I mean, I know that's who did that song. It was like a one-hit wonder, but she sounds like Tina Turner. I've looked it up while I
I
was
have the
watching it.
soundtrack.
Yeah, it's not Tina Turner though.
Oh, there's so
How's
many
it go?
different
Can you
songs on
sing it
that.
for
I
us?
was going to say,
Once
it's like,
bitten, once bitten.
you don't need nobody. Yeah, I know. I can't remember her
Everybody
name,
just
but
turned this
that-
off.
We talked about we had an episode on Gore scores and soundtracks, and that we always talk about music that I would never fucking listen to, but I have soundtracks of movies because it reminds me of the movie, and that's one of them. That entire soundtrack is so fucking 80s bop crap. I love it. It's
Rad,
like Rockula. You know, I
because-
don't give a fuck about Rockula, but Tony Basil's
Yeah,
song,
dude,
I remember
fuck
that.
yeah. I mean,
the dude,
dude.
from the dude from Over the Top, fucking what's his name? The wrestler.
Terry Funk.
Yeah, no.
He is a wrestler.
No, but
He is in
the villain in Over the Top.
I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, Bull Harley. Yeah, he's in was it Rockula as Tony Basil's like sidekick, and those little moments you remember because of the music.
Music. Do you think I would listen to "Send Me an Angel" in my car if it wasn't for
But
Rad?
she's like the wind.
Good song. Yeah,
He's a
good
Swayze
song.
fan.
Yeah,
Good
that
song.
that prom scene when they're on the bikes and that chick that's going to prison for a bit for paying for a kid's college or whatever.
Oh, Lori
Lori Loughlin?
Like, yeah. Which, by the way, I wore that shirt last week with her
For
on
like
it.
a few months.
And I noticed like the whole YouTube video, it's just her head peeking over the table because I wore that dumbass shirt.
No, he's
I was
talking
like,
about his Jesse's Girl shirt
Jesse's
that he
Girl
wore.
shirt.
Was it last week or week before?
I ordered that fucking shirt, and unfortunately, like right after I ordered it was when she got in like legal trouble. Like,
Oh, yeah,
the
you're a
article-
dick, man.
Yeah, and then I got the shirt in the mail, and I was like, I'm still gonna fucking wear it. Like, fuck
Yeah.
that. It's a funny pun. But yeah, I mean, the soundtrack thing's funny because yeah, you'll get in my car and you'll hear "Send Me an Angel" and all this goofy shit. And a lot of times people are like, "Why the fuck do you listen to this?" I'm like, movies,
Yeah.
because it's just there in my head. Like I got the Teen Wolf soundtrack and Rad, which you don't have Teen Wolf up here. If
Well-
Ghostbusters and Gremlins can make it, Teen
Man,
Wolf
there's so many
definitely
movies that I
fits
could have
under
put up
that.
there. I actually erased a bunch too because
Yeah.
I know we had to get through this, and
Okay.
we're still
Well,
in the fucking 80s.
Yeah,
guys.
well, we're close. We're got it. We're going at a
I mean,
decent
we're gonna
pace.
skip Reanimator. Reanimator gold.
I don't want to skip Reanimator. Just I want to do a quick
'Cause we just
thing on
did.
that.
Okay, go ahead.
You saw Reanimator as an adult, right? That was your first time
Yes,
doing a
with you.
Oh,
marathon.
Ryan, hit it, baby.
With you.
I can't wait for your
How'd that
perspective.
feel?
I wish I would have watched it younger or when I was younger because I absolutely loved it. Again, I remember seeing the cover art in the store, but I never watched it. I've always wanted to over the years, able to pop up here and there, but I absolutely loved it. I mean,
You feel like the comedy holds up
Yes.
with it?
And it's really dark. It's not
Dark.
like ha ha ha. I mean, there's a couple of jokes with cat dead, whatever, but it's not like very in your face.
Well, I really enjoy having friends that are interested in horror now that didn't watch it all the time when they were kids. Like, like with him, when we did that Joe Bob marathon and his reaction to Reanimator, because right after we went off, he was like, that was a good movie.
And it's uncomfortable. It's funny, and then you're like, oh, this is the giving head
Yeah.
scene, and I feel weird.
Yeah, it's just a lot of things. Or even just the shit with the cat at first. When it first happens, because you're not really
It's
that
a
far
cat, yeah.
deep into the movie of knowing how gross and disgusting everything's about to be.
Yeah.
And it's a fun one, man. But I was surprised when he was like, yeah, that's one of my favorite ones. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
good.
basket case too. I mean that was,
Basket case.
was trippy, but
Henenlotter, man.
he's
I very well enjoyed it. I mean, it was funny. It was just weird. It's like Krang from
yeah, I was totally Krang.
that Krang coming at you, but it was funny. It was good.
Krang in a basket, and it's totally like it's dark humor. It doesn't try to be a comedy. Like it doesn't throw it at
yeah.
you like all this all slapstick. It's just funny, like the dialogue. Similar to
the violence is hilarious. It's
yeah.
really weird. Like all the needles in the face from Basket Case.
very
What
similar.
the fuck?
Basket Case and Brain Damage are a lot alike in
Yeah.
that way because they both have like this weird little, what's he called? Fred, and Brain Damage. I can't remember his name.
Oh.
I can't fucking latches onto his neck. But there's like a whole scene where the dude's like overdosed on what this monster puts in him, and this thing is like in the sink just singing to him, and it's the funniest shit. But it's really dark and fucked up because he's really singing at him because he wants him to overdose and need him. And Basket Case is the same way. Basket Case is just dark as fuck, but
He just wants to be loved.
he just wants to be loved.
He just wants to be loved.
Yeah.
And it's hard not to laugh at the monsters and
It's
shit sometimes.
brotherly love.
'Cause
Oh
of how
yeah.
they're built.
And then, well, that's another franchise that goes off the rails. The second one's got Mr. T, and they're all freak shows. It goes way fucking like Bill and Ted almost.
Did Bill and Ted go off the rails?
It's- No, but it went like towards that kind of goof.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want you to keep talking shit, so let's just let you see. You'll say something positive. Return of the Living Dead.
We can skip it. We got a whole.
We should skip it because I hate zombie movies. We should just.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about Return of the Living Dead for like an hour, real quick.
Let's do like a whole.
It's one of my
hour
favorite
on Return of the
movies
Living Dead.
of all time.
Just skip that.
Really, you don't like Return of the Living Dead?
I don't.
Loves Ghostbusters 2. Hates
Yeah.
Little Shop of Horrors. Hates Return of the Living Dead.
I don't have any excuse.
You don't have anything? Have
I'm
you
just
seen
fucking
it?
with you.
I just I don't know. I
Have
mean,
you seen-
there's some zombie movies, yeah, but I mean, once you get to the end, but it's,
Do you hate Linnea Quigley?
Oh, we better answer this correctly. Dun dun
He's trying to think who she is
dun,
right
dun,
now.
dun,
Can
This is
you-
a trick.
dun, 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 dun. She's like
can I
on every wall.
Can I
in
phone
this-
a friend?
She's the chick.
Can I phone a friend?
She's the chick that
It's
dances.
become a game show.
She dances boobs first in the cemetery.
That's a
I mean, I'm
classic.
sure I would like it.
It's a classic scene.
It's boobs.
I mean, I love Return of the Living Dead. I love from start to finish. And once again, that's not. So later on, we'll get to like Shaun the Dead, which is a straight up like intentional like horror comedy. Return just has like a lot of funny moments in it, but it's not.
It's really well written. It's
good.
comedy in those kind of films are just written so well that it's not like right in your face.
Yeah, I can. What? But Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Part 2.
Okay, what the fuck? Yeah, you're right.
You don't want to talk about it? I know you don't like it.
I love part 2. What do
Oh,
you-
I thought you. Okay, maybe it was Dave. I can't remember.
who the fuck doesn't like? Well, actually, yeah, that is one that's kind of like split down the middle sometimes.
Yeah. Some people just don't get it. They don't like it. It's not. It's very much like how I felt about when I saw Army of Darkness, and I get that way of thinking about a movie. The first one is visceral and gritty. Like we're talking about going from the 70s to the 80s, and then the 80s, he's like, I'm gonna make this fucking funny because I don't want to repeat myself.
Well, the posters like that Breakfast Club
Yeah,
cover,
that's the comedy right off the bat.
which I think they originally did have like a different poster though. Originally, it was like a more like intense like Leatherface style poster, and I think they switched it for marketing because they were like
The
"Fuck
original
it,
one
let's
is like
just-"
him tearing through the movie poster.
Yeah, it's like
and
Leatherface, like
drawn.
Yeah, and then they went with the Breakfast Club pose. And then the movie focuses mostly on like Bill Moseley's character, Chop Top, and the radio station shit.
The third brother, or actually the fourth, technically.
I fucking love that movie. I like it more than I do the first one as far as like a watchable, like watch it any time type of movie. Like
Oh, it's fun.
if there's a group of people at my house and I want to turn on a film, I'll pick that one over the first one.
So that is my least favorite, like modern day villain. Like Freddy, Jason, Chucky,
Leatherface?
Pinhead, and then I'm just not a fan.
Have you watched the first Texas Chainsaw?
Yeah. I mean,
How old were you
I
when you saw
watched
Texas Chainsaw?
That actually matters a lot. That's a good question.
Maybe like 12, 11.
It wasn't scary to you? You didn't watch
I mean, yes, it was, but like Freddy's my dude. I saw like Freddy 5. Love it.
Well, is it because these sequels to Texas Chainsaw aren't as accessible? Because they weren't really playing Texas Chainsaw. I mean, fuck, most of my friends haven't even seen Texas Chainsaw 3.
I would say like I
It's
had
not
more
great either way. But
Yeah,
I love
I had
Part 3.
more
I know a lot of,
access to Freddy, Jason, Chucky.
yeah,
Because I would watch them with my dad, and my dad never watched that, so I didn't watch it.
I think overall franchise-wise, I mean, Texas Chainsaw is probably not at the top of my list either. I really do like 1 and 2, though, and I think 3's decent. A lot of people hate it, and there are some people like Steve that are like, I fucking love it, probably for Ken Forey. But
I love the whole thing I love all of it, but it's not really a horror comedy, so I'm not going to get into that one.
yeah, no, part 2 is. And then getting away from that,
I can definitely see why you would say that, because you have all these other memorable slashers, and Leatherface is kind of not as memorable because he doesn't talk, but neither does Michael Myers. But Michael Myers, it's got, I don't know, it's more fun. And the Leatherface is always, except besides this one, for the most part, it's not a really fun character.
yeah, and I'll leave it at
It's
this.
kind of hard to do anything with him.
Freddy, Michael
love him,
Myers,
though.
and Jason are all those one character. Texas Chainsaw is based off of family. A lot of people forget that. You know, they're just like, hey, the Leatherface. It's not really the Leatherface
It's not even a
show.
slasher movie.
Yeah, it's more about everyone else.
Jason's
It's
kind
more
of-
of like your fucking Rob Zombie family type movie. Says my who he fucking ripped off. Wink, wink. But anyway, let's go on. It's Frankenhooker. I fucking love Frankenhooker so
Okay,
much.
good. Yeah, me too, man.
I mean, I have like in my room, I have a Frankenhooker poster, and then Dick Starr, one of our artist buddies, who's done a fuck ton of art over the years. His giant Frankenhooker portrait he did, and I have that hanging up too. That's always been like a favorite of mine. I watched it when I was a kid because it's trashy as fuck, and I thought I was getting by with something like watching something dirty. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
this movie's
It's a
fucking.
great example of 80s horror comedy,
And have you seen Frankenhooker?
but not fun.
Can you summarize it in like 30 seconds? Because no, I have not.
A man is trying to rebuild a woman, so he's building her out of hookers.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
I'm there.
Frankenstein
Absolutely.
with hookers.
I'll definitely.
It's all in
watch
the
that.
name, baby.
And like it'll make you fear lawnmowers. You won't like lawnmowers anymore.
Yeah. My VHS doesn't actually still talk. You used to have like a button you'd push on and it goes, you want a date? And it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, that was all her thing. Want a date? And her face is always kind of like. fucking, she actually put that on my poster too. It says "want a date," and like me, I was just like, "Oh,
Well, I would love
this
to
is
do
so cool."
that filmmaker as a retrospective anyways. But like, yeah, we talked about Basket Case, Frankenhooker.
Well, he's got so much weird shit.
It's great.
It's going.
Maniac Cop.
Was it
It's
Bad
great.
Biology?
Yeah.
Was the one with the wieners and the vaginas?
Yeah.
I'm like a child. The wieners and the vaginas. We can definitely skip over the next one on this is Tremors. We can kind of gloss over that. You should just listen to our previous episode.
Oh, yeah.
I assume you probably had one of the same experiences as most with Tremors. It came on TV all the time when you were a kid.
Yeah, USA Network.
Big old dick worms everywhere. Couldn't get away from them. Did you ever watch the sequels?
2,
Part 2
but then
with Grady.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the sidekick in part 2?
Here we go.
I was fine with it, because you had a pretty spot on,
Yeah, I hate him. I fucking hate. I've been thinking about him this last week, and I'm just really was waiting to ask you about it, and then I was hoping you'd say you'd hate him, but I don't know.
No.
You guys are no longer friends.
our
I
friendship
have
meter-
bad taste, obviously. I mean,
bad taste.
Nice.
That would actually, if you did that intentionally, that would have been an awesome lead into the 90s.
Yeah, go
actually.
right into that, man. But I kind of left it off the board because, like we just talked about, we're going to have a Peter Jackson whole. Like,
We're gonna have a big old Peter fest.
Yeah, I mean, all of his movies are fun. I love Peter fests.
I don't know all of his movies. Lord,
Yeah.
the fucking Hobbit's not fun.
Okay, whatever.
Fellowship of the Ring.
No, let's not
That's
get into
not
this.
Oh, nerds right now are just white knuckle mad at me. Well, sorry.
Well, The Hobbit, I can definitely pass on. I could do without those.
I could
but-
do without the Fellowship.
Damn.
I like
My favorite is the first three. God,
Yeah.
I sound like an old Star Trek or Star Wars fan.
number 3. I like number 3.
Yeah.
Return of the King.
Yeah.
I prefer Return of the Jedi because I'm a fucking man.
It's a good
He likes the num num.
Yeah. Hey, read books. Get the fuck out of here. What is at the top here? Coming out of
Oh, that's just an
the
explanation of shit.
You motherfucker.
Yeah.
You can't write just weird shit. So we're going to go right into Army of Darkness because I'm real mad at you right now.
So I
Should
absolutely
I have to explain myself? I'll let you go first. Go right ahead.
absolutely loved this movie.
And I understand why.
He
Go
just
ahead.
went up on my friendship meter.
Hated.
You just
hated
got your
it.
back.
Hated Evil Dead 2. Hated it.
Well,
Fuck, man. You just gotta stop
But-
talking at one point.
I feel like if I would have watched Evil Dead 2 when I was younger,
Yeah.
I would love it. Because I watched Troll 2 when I was younger. I watched it again recently. Hated it. Stupid.
Troll 2s, you
Ryan-
should have never liked in the first place.
Riker, imagine you're on a date with Derek and I. Just say the first sentence and then don't keep talking because
Okay.
you're not gonna get
'Cause
laid.
That gets me in trouble. I keep talking. That obviously, yeah. But
Well, yeah, you really fucked yourself there. You could have just left Evil Dead 2 out of this. Now we got beef.
the skeleton fight scene made that movie. Like made Armored. Like it was just too hilarious. It absolutely made that movie. And Duke Nukem ripped off
Well, hell, you talking about Hell to the King and all the one-liners.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you
Boomstick. Absolutely.
If you
ripped off.
played the Duke Nukem game, Total Meltdown, which is the most popular one that came out on the PlayStation, they're all just Army of Darkness one-liners, which is like Hell to the King and Boomstick and all that, which is great because I was a fan. And if you needed to see titties back then, Duke Nukem Total Meltdown, you could go in a strip club, and if you clicked on the stripper, it's like these pixelated boobs. I remember just being such a little pervert for that. But not so much about boobs now. Let's go back to Army of Darkness. I'll do an episode about boobs one day. We can talk about them.
It's just what's going to be called Derek and
But
Boobs.
I understand Steve's complaint. He's wrong. Fuck him. But I get it. You got Evil Dead 1's just creepy, woodsy, low budget horror movie. Part 2 happens. They add like a splash of comedy, but it's still like a pretty dark horror film with a little comedy into it. And then Army of Darkness happens. And I guess if you were a fan, you were in your late teens or you're a young adult, that can be a letdown. For me personally, as a kid, and seeing... So I saw Army of Darkness before I saw any of the Evil Dead movies, probably. Because I saw Army of Darkness on TV, right? I bought the Evil Dead movies, got like the cover of the VHS, not knowing they're even associated with it. When I put it all together, I fucking worship that franchise. It's my favorite thing in the world. It's on my body. You know what I mean? But I think if I was a little bit older, I would have a different view of Army of Darkness. I definitely would. I don't know why you dislike it, though. That's what I don't get.
When I went back to rewatch it on VHS, I appreciated it for what it was. It's kind of like when I first watched House 2. I was like, fuck.
Don't you
But
talk
I went
shit
back
about
to
House
talking about
2,
horror
which we
comedies.
totally skipped, by the way,
It's okay.
because that's a whole
Yeah, it is. It's like it's not what I wanted. It's not, now you go on the internet and you just bitch about it. But back then you went to the theater and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
And you had to wait. And then when it came out on VHS, I was like, okay, I get it now. This is a big Ray Harryhausen, beautiful ode to all that 60s like action films like Jason and the Argonauts, all that stuff. But what I wanted was Evil Dead 3. I met Bruce Campbell and I guess it was the winter of the year that came out. He did a mall tour free.
Yeah, I remember those.
Okay, I went and saw him, and the Cinefantastic cover I had, it was like Evil Dead 3, and he signed it, and we talked up for like 5 minutes, and I think my daughter threw up on him. I always remember that. And Army of Darkness comes out, and I'm like, I go to the theater, I'm like, fuck, There's no blood. It's
Yeah.
like there's nothing extreme about that. It just took me a second viewing. And that's why I've always said, even to this day, I'm like, I think when people do reviews of movies, they need to go and sit with that film like an album before you do a review of an album, and then go back and let it, sink in. I love it now, but in '92, I was like, fuck,
Just
this
mad
piece
as
of shit.
fuck.
I was so mad.
You think that's why they called it Army of Darkness instead of Evil Dead
Universal
3?
owned it and definitely wanted to make some money off of it. They didn't want to have it connected to this horror splatter, awesome, what I think is awesome horror comedies.
Because it's
horror comedy.
It could be a
and then-
standalone movie fairly easily,
Oh,
especially with the
absolutely.
recaps at the beginning and shit. You kind of know
Yeah.
what you're getting yourself into.
That's my only beef with it. And I have another beef with a film that everybody loves that's on this list, and we'll get to it and I'll point it out.
Well, yeah, the next one on the list, if you talk shit about Buffy. So Buffy the Vampire Slayer, me, as a young boy, was a Luke Perry thing. Yeah, swerve, motherfuckers. But I thought Luke Perry was like the coolest fucking dude in the world when I was young. So I was completely sold on that. Everybody right now is like, this dork. I'm like, fuck
They
you.
don't, not everybody knows your 90210
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. I can probably do 4 hours at least on 90210 by myself. So let's not even go into that.
I thought you was a David Arquette kind of guy.
I actually love David Arquette in this
Yeah.
movie too. And I was a David Arquette guy. I still, actually, that's a whole different thing too. I am a David Arquette guy
His little
again
bit
these
parts
days.
are great. Airheads, all this stuff he did at the time. Yeah.
But I thought he was amazing in this. I thought the cast was amazing. It's a fun movie. Fucking Pee Wee Herman as a vampire.
Rutger Hauer.
Rutger Hauer, the
Christy
casting's
Swanson,
like
yeah.
perfect. It's goofy. It's over the top. It's Josh Whedon's like really the first thing I know him for is Buffy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and he wasn't
Really?
happy with the way it came out because he thought they didn't understand what he was trying to do.
What was he trying to do differently than that? He
It
was
just
make
needed
it
to be
more
toned
serious.
down. Like, I guess maybe the third season of Buffy the Vampire Slayer was like what he envisioned the characters to be like,
Yeah, I don't know.
which was like a lot of the horror comedies we're talking about. It's not so over the top in Buffy. The movie is way over the top.
It should be though. I think vampire movies, you have like these hour-and-a-half films where you get all this like with vampires, all this mythology out there, and all this like backstory and all
You got to
this
cram it all in.
bullshit.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do with that time frame. I don't know what else he would want for that. You know,
Yeah, I just think the tone was off for him, and I definitely can see that.
he wanted to be more. He didn't want it to be on this board.
I don't know, man. I love Buffy. I love all Buffy things. I
Buffy-
love all mostly Joss Whedon things too.
Buffy is one of those movies that, like, if it comes on TV, you have to watch it.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how many times you've seen it, you have to watch it.
Yeah, but I mean, the show is way more dramatic. It's like, it's like a rom-com sort of thing
Yeah.
instead of a comedy with horror aspects. Like if it wasn't for vampires, it's just like it's a comedy movie.
Yeah,
I mean, most of these movies you could say the same thing about, but that's what I meant. Like the tone, it wasn't there for him.
I loved it. I love the show too, though. I mean, in the show, it was 5 or 6 years later when he started the show. So you
Yeah.
got to kind of do like a replay, I guess.
Oh heck yeah!
And you get like so much time with that, though. Season after season, you get to drag things out. So it
That's
can be
why, yeah.
perfect and exactly how you
Television
want your
shows.
baby to be. Which vampires probably fit better in that universe, but some reason we keep getting zombies. I guess they tried
We'll
with
get to that.
True Blood, and they really fucked us with that. So,
I like True Blood.
well, that's fine. Somebody does. I'm pretty sure
And
people.
I like
listen-
the first two seasons.
I really
first
enjoy True Blood.
I'm the same way. The first 2 seasons,
They're
but
solid as fuck.
but after that, dude, that's like 4 p.m. on WHAS type soap opera
Mythology
shit.
gets a little stretched, and it's
Last
just like
season
okay, but
Garbage. I hated the last season.
Well, HBO and Showtime are both known for that. Starting strong, even these series that we love, and then the last season or two just completely shitting the bed.
yeah.
For me, True Blood, it's like after season 2, but I get why people hung around a bit longer because I did that with a few other shows, and
You regret it sometimes.
you want it to be better. I mean, I'm still watching Monday Night Raw every fucking week.
We can jump over Dead Alive.
Yeah, we can. So,
But, goddamn, we got to mention it.
Dead Alive was the first time I was super grossed out by a movie. I wouldn't eat oatmeal because of that movie for a very long
the
period of
custard
time.
or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, like for some reason, because it doesn't look like oatmeal necessarily in that scene, but it just reminded me of it. And that whole gross scene with the fucking eyeball and the shit dripping in it and all that, it just stayed in my fucking head forever, man. I would think about that anytime I saw like gravy or oatmeal, and I would not eat it when I was a kid. I just fucking gross. And that movie's disgusting all around. I mean, the finale is just a straight up bloodbath. Have you seen that
It's
one?
so fucking memorable. It's
Peter
Peter
Jackson
Jackson film.
I know I have, but like nothing's coming. to the brain.
It's where's it set at? Fucking New Zealand.
It's New Zealand, yeah.
New Zealand. They're at a zoo. Guy's mother, like he's a mama's boy kind of. Mom gets bit by like this monkey that's fucking part zombie or whatever. It slowly starts changing her, and she's like deteriorating and falling apart, and she's like this real bitch. So he's trying to take care of her while she's like screaming at him and shit. Next thing you know, half the town's changing into fucking zombies because of this lady. There's a priest that kicks ass for the Lord, who has a brilliant Bruce Lee scene. If you've seen this movie, you would know this scene. In the cemetery, the priest goes just full fucking out of his mind. A bunch of zombies are there. He yells, "I kick ass for the Lord." It's fucking brilliant. And there's a blatant stunt man there doing all this Bruce Lee stunt work.
That's so good.
Worse than the Jamie Kennedy on a dirt bike scene. And look, he fucks him up. But that's like I don't know. I think that's probably why I liked it so much, because I was so into martial arts and shit. Yeah. And it's like kick-ass priest happens, and there's a boatload of blood. The finale, she just blows up into this giant fucking Honey, We Blew Up the Kids style fucking monster.
Like a Gore monster.
It's gross. So yeah, watch it. But we'll talk about that on the Peter Jackson shit. Cemetery Man, another one from the 90s.
Yeah.
That was, doesn't get a lot of love. It was big for like rental nerds though, VHS nerds, and then later DVD nerds. Like Cemetery Man was a hot one.
It got looked over. Sadly, I was so fucking mad when I finally found it. I think it was like maybe 2000 when I actually found that movie. I'm like, how the fuck did I miss this for 6 years?
Who was the main guy in that one? The main actor. It's fairly.
Oh shit!
It's a name. That's a name actor.
Yeah,
in that. I can't fucking think of his
my brain
name.
just went dead. I was thinking of the comics and all that stuff, but yes.
I broke you.
Yes, you did.
I broke Steve.
It does happen on here. Goddamn. Anyways, this is why Dave needs to be here with a tablet all of a sudden, because my brain was just thinking about like
water
I was
on
talking
the
about the comics and the
Just,
director and all these other things, and then I just
the comics.
Rupert Everett.
Rupert Everett.
See, I knew if I just kept talking, it would go through my brain. Holy shit, Derek, good one. That was awesome.
Well, I felt like
I'm sure the look in my eye was like,
dude, I felt like I fucking broke you. I didn't know what happened.
Rupert Everett, and it's a fantastic role.
Yeah, well, it's crazy for him because he's known for like romantic comedies and all that shit. And then we got like Cemetery Man, and he's on the cover, like he's highlighted on the cover. So I always thought about, I wonder how many like soccer moms in the late 90s rented that, just going like, oh, there's Rupert.
I'm going to go rub one off. And he's like, yeah, he's gay.
She thinks he's just like, it's like they think it's like Cemetery Man. Like
he's just
like,
well, the character's not,
fucking sad women and stuff.
Yeah. That's a fantastic movie. I thought I'd really get into that film, but I know we're going to do an entire episode on Italian films, and that's going to be way up there.
Yeah, and I really like that right under it. You wrote Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Fucking A.
Nobody fucking remembers that movie. Do you remember that?
Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah.
Doing his best Bela Lugosi impersonation.
I feel like the trailer for that played when I would watch the preview channel more than any other movie trailer in history, which for you youngins out there, before the internet and before your fucking cable box had a guide, you would turn it to the last channel you had, which was like channel 99 on my TV. And it's just like a scrolling TV guide.
You have to watch it for an hour.
Like 3 movies.
An hour. You had to wait for it like to fucking rotate. Because remember it would pause sometimes? It would show like 5 movies and then just stop and there'd be like that weird ad. But they would play that trailer on that channel so fucking often. I just remember like everything that happens in that fucking trailer. But I couldn't tell you anything that happens in that movie.
Holy shit! Yeah, it's actually really well done. It's a Mel Brooks film. He kind of like, I was expecting it to be way more like Young Frankenstein, same director. It's definitely but instead he goes the complete opposite. The comedy is way more over the top. The color is really vibrant. He kind of takes from all of the different Dracula films that have ever been made and sticks them all in there, and it works really well. I don't know. I can go on and on about that movie.
Really?
We have so many. We have like 3 more decades.
Yeah, well, no, we're getting there. We don't have a lot on each one.
Can I talk briefly about Vampire in Brooklyn?
Brooklyn, hell yeah, you can.
I fucking hate it, so you can go ahead and cover it.
We kind of touched it a little bit, but please do. Earlier in another episode, but nothing that you're probably going to talk about.
Was you the one? Was it you? Yeah, you said that Eddie Murphy wanted that to be
hardcore horror.
Yeah, a serious movie. Like he tried to like act his ass off.
Yeah, he's like the straight man, as the character is like the straight hardcore guy, and then everybody around him is the funny people, except for Angela Bassett. Yeah.
But I liked it. I mean, it was a cute movie.
Cute?
It's cute. I don't think Wes Craven or Eddie Murphy wants to hear that. But yeah.
I wanted to like that movie a lot more than I did.
The tone is all over the place, and I think that really hurt it. It hurt it bad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't despise it, but it's one that They did. I think they did a recent release of it, maybe Scream Factory, one of those. And I saw people like getting really hyped about it. And I'm like, I feel like nostalgia is very much clouding you, and you're gonna watch this and be like, oh man, fuck.
Nostalgia does like drive a lot of people's emotions because it just brings them back to a good time.
Yeah, and your life sucks now. You go back to the 90s when you were a kid,
Happy,
and like,
Yeah.
Vampire in Brooklyn was good to you.
The one good thing about that film is that it hurt Wes Craven's career just enough to where when he was offered Scream, he said no, and then went back and said, "I'll take it." So
Fuck it, let's do it, boys.
right? Because I think that film Scream was offered to him first, and he was like, "Nah, this is kind of what I'm known for." And then he wasn't getting anything else because Vampire Brooklyn was an awful bomb, and he was like, "Fuck it, let's do it. I can kind of see what I'm going to do with this movie."
And then we had Bordello of Blood.
Yeah, we can like Bordello of Blood, Cannibal the musical.
Yeah, Bordello of Blood I don't want to talk about because I don't fucking like Corey Feldman or Dennis Miller.
I liked it. I loved it, but it's fine.
You love Dennis Miller.
Well, we're talking about Uneven Tones. It's like one episode of the first movie is really good, and then the second one's like way over the top. So then I thought maybe the third television script movie was going to come out and go back and forth. It just didn't do that.
Yeah, I love Demon Knight, and I like a lot of the series up until like the last couple seasons.
Oh, yeah.
That gets bad too.
They cut the fucking budget
Don't
on
let
those.
nostalgia clog your fucking mind there, bud. Go back and watch those. Those are hard to get.
Oh, I want to see this episode with Brad Pitt. No, you don't.
Yeah, the 90s were full of like the 90s is right where it starts really kind of pumping a lot of these horror comedies out. Frighteners is amazing. Fucking Peter Jackson's all over this list, which you wouldn't think he would be, because there's a lot of people that aren't familiar with like anything he did prior to like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
like this dude just came out of a hole and was like, "Hey, it's time to do Hobbit movies,
New
boys."
Zealand,
Yeah, New Zealand, what's up? Represent NZ. I don't know what gang signs New Zealand has.
Really important to his career, and I'm not even going to get into it on this episode because, like I said, we've got the Peter Jackson.
Just wait for us to do a Peter Jackson episode, please, because I don't got that type of time in my life to talk about Frighteners right now. That's probably might be my favorite one from him, by the way.
It's so good.
Bride of Chucky is another example of what started as a serious horror franchise and became a fucking comedy act. This was like the start of it going all out comedy. This one's still a little dark. Then next we get Seed of Chucky, and that's their Freddy Krueger for final chapter type shit, man, or the Final Nightmare, whatever the fuck that was called. It's just like so over the top, and Bride's still kind of dark and sexy and weird, and
there's Ronnie Yu, his sense of humor.
Yeah,
and he was just like, I'm just going to do whatever the hell I can with this franchise because you don't care about it anymore. It was like after 3, it was not. Nobody cared.
And they got every teenage boy to watch because they had Jennifer Tilly.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And she was like the hot shit in the 90s,
I cried when Chucky died.
Oh, and this one?
That's how much
Bride
I
of
love.
Chucky? Oh.
You cried when Chucky died?
Well, you were like 10.
I was a big fan of Chucky, yeah, so I cried when
Yeah.
Oh, well,
it's an
that's
emotional
sad.
impact,
he died.
man. Okay.
And he died a lot, so that tells you how much time I
You
cried.
cried a lot, huh?
I'm a crier. I'm sensitive. That's
Holy shit. You know what I
what I
cried? When fucking Elvis might have died in Bubba Hotep.
Bubba fucking Hotep. I can't believe that was, you got 2002, and that does not seem like that was 18 years ago, but yeah, I guess it was, man.
Yeah.
Elvis and JFK in a nursing home together fighting a mummy.
But JFK was a white man. They dyed me this color. Fucking movie. That's amazing. Same director from Phantasm. Don Cascarelli.
Don Cascarelli, he also did John Dies at the End.
Yeah,
in the
good movie.
Phantasm franchise.
Overlooked film.
What's weird is he's good at this horror comedy thing, and you wouldn't think so because of Phantasm. Phantasm has some one-liners here and there, and Reggie's funny enough, but I'll fucking adore Bubba Hotep. Maybe it's Bruce Campbell. Maybe Bruce Campbell can make anything decent.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. He's got some turds out there, but
The guy that was trying to train him to be Elvis gave up on him after like the second day because he said he was awful.
well, that's kind of the thing, though. You don't
That's
want
what I
him,
thought.
You don't want him to be just like Elvis. These two guys are in a nursing home. You're supposed to think both of them are fucking batshit crazy. Like, you're not Elvis, you're not JFK. So that's kind of the whole point.
Yeah.
There's a demon mummy that sucks your soul out of your asshole. Like, how?
like out of
his booty.
your little.
You haven't seen
literally-
Bubba Hotep?
I've never seen.
Oh my god.
Man, that's one you got to see at some point because it's a very over-the-top horror comedy. It knows what it is.
Yeah.
So unlike some of these that are kind of like dark and then happen to have comedy, this is just an all-out intentional horror comedy.
Yeah.
But Bruce Campbell does a great job. That other actor doing JFK is fucking great just because the dialogue between the two.
Ozzie Davis.
But yeah, it's pretty much two guys in a nursing home. One says he's JFK, the other says he's Elvis. And then a mummy shows up that's killing people by, like, gets their shit through their assholes.
Is it graphic at all? Does it show?
You know what? Surprisingly, no.
No,
like,
not really.
Intestines, anuses, just.
Do you want to see that?
I mean, it depends. I like gore. I mean,
No, there's not a lot of gore in this film.
Okay.
That's the thing about that film is
Gory
it's-
anuses.
for horror fans and horror fanatics and gore horrors. Like that's not a movie that has any of that in it. It's just you love Bruce Campbell, you love those characters. The
Yeah.
director, you put all that together and you're automatically sold. You're like, I'm gonna watch this
Yeah.
fucking movie. I don't care.
That's what got me. Bruce Campbell and Elvis. You had me sold right there.
Yeah.
I bought as soon as that came out on DVD. I bought that shit.
Hell
Went out,
yeah.
Paid full price at Suncoast. If you were around for Suncoast, you know how much I paid for that fucking DVD.
Oh, I do.
And I was,
way too much.
yeah, and I was happy about it though. It was a good purchase. Coming off Bubba Hotep was another like one of my favorites that gets overlooked and some people don't enjoy it. And I've talked about it on this show, but Dead and Breakfast, I think is super underrated. It has a great cast. It has musical scenes.
Jeremiah is the band. Jeremiah.
Well, yeah, Zachariah.
Zachariah.
So he plays like and I've talked about this movie in the past, but might as well just fucking follow up again. He narrates this whole movie. It's a zombie movie, essentially. Your usual story, a bunch of fucking teenagers or young people are going to this like town. Their fucking car breaks down. They got to stay at a hotel. David Carradine unleashes some kind of beast that possesses everybody. That's the quickest version I can tell. But the whole time this is happening, Zachariah, who was at the time just known for being a host on G4, Zach Zelwyn was a host on like late night on G4 and would pop up on like Attack of the Show, if you remember that.
God, that was awesome.
He even goes back to almost like the screensaver days, for all you dorks out there, Leo Laporte and all those guys. So he shows up and he's just like this country hillbilly there, which you think, because he shows up during the bar scene and he's like singing a song during the bar scene. But after that, he narrates the entire movie.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. It has a weird thriller, little dance scene and shit. That's when I let him borrow leading into this.
Yeah. I loved it. I really did enjoy it.
Yeah.
Does it hold up? Because a lot of shit from 2000s.
Well, just him narrating it is hilarious. It's just so funny.
Yeah.
But it holds up.
And you got Jeremy Sisto, as I said before, and Eric Palladino.
Kentucky boy.
Yeah, Sisto always does a great job. Doesn't get enough roles. Eric Palladino plays like this like washed up boxer, even though he's like 24, that just constantly fights with his girlfriend. And if you're in your early 20s, when you see that, you're like, man, I feel that, because we're all in like broken relationships at that point of our life. And that's actually a zombie kind of comedy that came out in 2004. Yep. And then that's the same year that brought us Shauna the Dead, which is what everybody knows.
Bloody brilliant, as the Brits would say.
And you don't like zombie movies.
I did like Shaun the Dead.
I know you did.
For numerous reasons. One, it's a fantastic movie. And it set the precedents, I think, for other movies along the way. And during the movie, it shows us as a society how we're kind of like zombies when we go through a routine day after day after day after day, not noticing anything around us, because exactly what he did. He had that same routine, store, chips, whatever he got, and he didn't notice zombies around him until it was too late.
Yeah, life sucks, and then you die. You don't know somebody else is fucking.
And that was before
dead.
the cell phone age and shit too,
right.
So
yeah, I've been waiting for this movie us to get to this movie.
I don't know how this movie succeeded with American audiences. It's before the zombie boom, so it's not like the last 5 years that's been nothing but zombies. At this point, like, I think we had the Dawn of the Dead remake at this point, right? And maybe 28 Days Later, I'm not sure. But they're close. They're lingering if they weren't already at this point. But Shaun of the Dead came when like zombies weren't everywhere. Fucking thank God.
No, they weren't.
Better days. Horror comedies weren't on the big screen that often at that point, and British movies. What the fuck? What was the other successful British movie in the last decade? Right there, you know, at that point. So it's so weird that movie took off the way it did, and I'm glad it did, because I fucking love it. I love Hot Fuzz, and I love everything those guys have done since then, pretty much.
And didn't it kick off Simon Pegg's
American career? Yes, yeah. So he was around already, and I knew of him. I was like a hipster. I knew who he was, But at that point, that really was like his like breakout performance for him. And
he deserves it.
Yeah. But you said you were waiting to get to it.
Because anybody who actually knows me always gets frustrated with me because of my opinions on certain films. Like, this is kind of much. Oh yeah, it's very much like Army of Darkness, but it doesn't age the same. Like, I went back and watched Army of Darkness, and I'm like, I get it now. I love it, and it didn't take much for me to actually realize that. Shaun the Dead is a fantastic film. It really is. The reason I hated it when it came out, not because I hated it because it's not a bad movie. It's fantastic. Edgar Wright is awesome, and he's proven it time and time and time and time again. The thing is, I remember being in a theater, and I was at a party, and god damn, I remember just going, fuck this movie. And not because it was a bad movie. I had waited to the end of the movie was over, and I was like, you have no idea what this movie just did. And I guess I was just an asshole at the time. I was like, this movie is going to make zombies so fucking popular that you're going to be fucking sick of them. And Jake Dupuis, his old friend of ours, was at this party. I think it was his party, actually. And people at that party were upsetting me. I was like, no. They're going to be so fucking everywhere. You're going to be so goddamn sick of them. It's going to be so fucking popular. Then we got Zombieland. We got the Land of the Dead. Yeah. The thing that it did good is it actually gave George Romero another career because nobody gave a fuck about George Romero. Yeah. Those are all those positives. But I could just see that it was going to make things so much fun. It was going to make it already was its own Freddy's Dead.
I like Zombieland, though.
Zombieland's fucking great. Yeah. And those are not bad movies, and I love those movies. What I'm saying is, like, just the way that I looked at that movie as I'm watching it play out, I'm like, everybody who doesn't give a fuck about zombie movies is going to love this movie. And all the points that you pointed out is exactly why. And it's not a bad thing. But for a really asshole horror nerd and too fucking especially back then, I was really fucking a shitty like horror fan. Like, no, fuck you don't know what you're talking about. I was that in 2004. I'm not even close to that now. I was just I looked at it and go fuck, and then that's when this is before conventions got taken over by The Walking Dead and all that shit. Like, you had that weird feeling, at least I did, and I was like, fuck. Yeah. Hot Fuzz, I think, is a better film, actually.
But I think people got creative, and I'm gonna go back to.
And everyone now hates me. I don't care.
I think Hot Fuzz is better. I agree.
Right. And I don't hate Shaun the Dead. I just hate that I knew the fallout was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, but it gave us Fido as well. I don't think Fido had to Shaun, and I think Fido's brilliant.
It fucking is.
But I think they took that idea of a horror comedy, and they didn't try to just copy it. They did their own thing. Yeah. Because there's a bunch of Shaun the Dead copies. Like, there's Cockneys versus Zombies and all that shit. There's another one with Danny Dyer, who we'll talk about later. What the fuck is that called? I've brought it to like my parties at your bar and shit before, but I can't remember it. But there's all kinds of British zombie movies that came due to Shaun of the Dead. So it's not just the boom here, but it's all those like zombie comedies that came out there. And some are good, but some are like just kind of just mediocre copycats. But then you get brilliant things like Fido that were like, let's make zombies pets.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really smart. And they did that whole like weird 1950s style and shot it like the way in the music and everything. That's great. I don't like the Walking Dead boom. I did it first. I was on board.
Oh, I loved it.
I
just got sick of it.
Yeah. And that's
it's not because the show is annoying. It's because the fucking people that I don't want to see at a horror convention annoy the fuck out of me.
Well, that's where we sound like assholes and we sound like elitists.
This is our crew.
We go to these horror shows and we've been going 20 plus years for you.
I started in 96, my first horror convention.
Yeah, so my first one was 2001. And, it's always been like this certain audience that goes, and it's awesome because it's like a big family. And then all of a sudden, actual families are showing up. Like,
it was weird.
And not like horror nerd film. That's perfectly fine. But like soccer moms that are there for just like one actor. You're there for that one Walking Dead guy and shit like that. And they're crowding the lanes and shit. You get angry. It's probably how people look at us when we go anywhere. It's probably when they see me at Kroger or anywhere, they're like, hey, what the fuck's this guy?
It changed the landscape of all of that.
Yeah, it really did, and it made it like a money-grubbing thing. Conventions went from being this fun, close-knit thing where you can meet anybody for $20 to everybody's $50 and up. Everybody charges just for a fucking picture with them all of a sudden.
And we sound like assholes right now, and that's fine. I get it.
Yeah, no, we'll do like a whole rant about cons one day too, the good and the bad. And I don't want to bitch about it because I still love conventions. There's just things that came from the zombie boom that really did change the landscape.
So you said 96 was your first? Mm-hmm. I was like 9.
Yeah, I'm old.
I know. That's the running joke. I just hang out with these old fucks.
Yeah.
It makes me feel better about myself because sometimes I wake up, I'm like, man, I'm going to die today. And then I get here and I'm like, not before him.
And not to sound like some gatekeeping asshole. I mean, it's not
You
about
are.
that. No, I'm not. There's a difference, like you just said. There's a difference between the high school jock that
Yeah.
found punk rock and then they're fucking punk rockers.
Yeah.
That is a fucking difference.
Well, they're not there to. The other thing, these people, they're not there to spend any money. They're there to just like go get the one autograph and leave. So they kind of like they make jokes about things that are there and people that are there. It makes it uncomfortable sometimes. Like there's people there that this is like their one escape. And you got fucking the soccer mom that's talking shit about them because of how they're dressed or whatever.
Right. Oh, can she not have her butt hanging out?
Or
what? I was
complaining
like, really? This is a
to
horror
convention promoters because there's a certain movie or they don't like a T-shirt and shit like that. We go to these things to get away from that. That's what these zombie movies kind of fucked up. Or I should say series, mostly Walking Dead. Yeah, going back to like the comedy though, getting the fuck away from zombies. Behind the Mask is one of my favorite fucking horror comedies of all time.
You may have the floor.
If you're a
He
fan
loves this movie and I love it too.
if you're
Damn
a fucking fan of slashers and you don't like Behind the Mask, I don't know if we can be friends. Did you watch it? And you didn't like it. I can see your face right now.
Oh, you're getting ready to get kicked out.
I have not seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
Okay,
I
there's
don't-
still time.
I don't think I've seen it.
I let you borrow it, didn't I? Oh, fuck. I guess I didn't put it in the stack. I don't know. I drink.
Yeah,
So,
Leslie Vernon is a slasher for every. Oh my god,
Leslie Vernon,
Fucking badass.
outside of, the Hatchet franchise with Victor Crowley, is the only, like, icon I feel like has been created in the last 20 years for the slasher genre. Unfortunately, he hasn't gotten any sequels yet. There was a failed Kickstarter, and there was, like, that comic book campaign. Comics and horror, to me, I know you love them, but I don't think most people give a shit, and they just kind of exist, and they're not even canon, you know?
I get it. Yeah.
But if you haven't ever seen Behind the Mask, it is kind of a spoof of the horror genre. It's a mockumentary. This documentary team shows up to film this man, Leslie Vernon, who is going to plan like a mass murder. He's looking for his group of teens to kill. So this documentary team, they assume he's full of shit. They don't believe anything he says. He's telling them his fake backstory that he's making up about himself. He shows them the house where he wants the teens to go so he can booby trap it and kill these kids. He takes them to meet his mentor, who's played by Scott Wilson, Herschel from Walking Dead. Yay, Walking Dead. And they show him like all the tricks, make all these jokes about the old school horror movies, how easy it was to chase people. And you get to see Leslie like train for this. And there's like all these weird jokes about like cardio is really hard because you gotta look like you're walking, but you gotta keep up with these kids. And all kinds of funny one-liners like that. And like he genuinely seems like your everyday guy, but he's playing as the turn into like Jason Voorhees essentially. And
It's so good. It's so well done.
and if you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil too much of this. I really don't, even for
Yeah.
listeners that are going to go check this out. I can't recommend this movie enough. If you like slasher films, go fucking watch Behind the Mask.
Robert Englund, Scott Wilson.
Fucking pay attention to it. Don't
Yeah.
look at your cell phone because there's a lot of weird one-liners and little things here and there that they do that are just like tributes to the entire genre.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It sucks that the sequel never happened or whatever happened with the Kickstarter. But that movie's great, and it really is like one of the few great slashers we've gotten in the 2000s. And it is a horror comedy. It's fucking hilarious. But the whole concept of just like following around like a Jason or Freddy as they try to plot this whole thing out, and you kind of learn they're not as smooth as what you would think. It's all just kind of set up and kind of all bullshit. It's like following a magician or a pro wrestler or whatever that shows you all the tricks.
Yeah.
Go fucking watch it.
Yeah. He's so charming. He's so nice. And they realize, wait, no, this is real. We're
This
like,
is real.
Yeah,
That's
this
the
is
brilliant-
fucking Ted Bundy. And you're hanging out with him.
Yeah.
How do you feel now?
and which is probably how you would feel if you hung out with Ted Bundy, though. Ted Bundy would manipulate you, and you're like, oh, man, this guy's great. That guy could tell you probably, hey, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Right. His neighbor wrote that book about him.
I mean, shit, look at the women of Facebook. They know the motherfucker killed people, and they're still like, I would fuck Ted Bundy.
Richard
And I'm like,
Ramirez.
dude, just fuck,
Like, oh, God.
just fuck Al Bundy. Don't fuck Ted Bundy.
Al needs it.
Al needs
Get Ed O'Neill some pussy.
Get Al Nelson pussy. He's a jiu-jitsu guy, so he could probably get some holds on you, girl.
Oh,
Yeah, and then we're almost wrapped up here actually with the 2000s. We had Severance, which is another British kind of
It's
comedy,
fantastic.
and it's fucking fantastic.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. One of the things that I like about it, at the end, the ending credits, it has like flamethrower killer, knife and butt killer, instead of saying like killer 1, killer 2, killer 3. To me, that was hilarious because I mean that's how you're gonna know who they are, and it's weird because
knowing that you noticed that makes me really hard, and I'm not into guys, but Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And it's weird. One of the main characters in this is going to be in another movie that I'm going to mention when.
Is it Danny Dyer's the stoner? So it's a
No. I'll get to it.
Okay.
I actually thought Danny Dyer was going to be the next Simon Pegg. He's a brilliant comedic guy, and he's a great actor. He's been in some bad ones. He did this one weird horror movie with the chick from X-Files, whatever the fuck her name is, and it's supposed to be this weird
Gillian Anderson,
cringy, abusive movie type thing,
yeah.
and he has a great he fucking kills it. It's just a bad movie though. Severance is brilliant because I think we've talked about it on a previous episode, but it's take the cast of The Office. They try to go on a business trip together and shit goes wrong. But the dialogue is still there. There's still the funny dialogue. It's not trying to be intentionally funny. It's just how these characters talk and interact. And if you've ever had a corporate gig, it's incredibly relatable, especially with the other employees and all the different personalities. And then they just throw in Danny Dyer as kind of the stoner character that would get fired 2 weeks into the job. But he's brilliant, especially when he starts tripping on mushrooms in the middle of the woods while the world's ending. I'll just give away one funny scene though. Is there's an argument. I think I talked about this last time too. Sorry for being fucking repetitive. There's an argument between an older gentleman and a lady, and he's kind of a smart ass, and they're debating if you get decapitated, can you survive? How long is your brain functioning after it? And the whole time he's just arguing, yeah, you definitely will. He's for sure, at least 20 seconds. He's I've looked it up, at least 20 seconds. And she's no, it's impossible. Well, an hour into the movie, they do a throwback to that joke because the dude gets his head cut off and you see his head rolling and he blinks twice and then he smiles because he realizes he won this argument. And it's just brilliant because he's such a snarky asshole anyway. The last moment of his life, he's just I fucking knew it. Gotcha. I was right. Gotcha. But yeah, you said a cast member of this is in another thing? What is?
So, Slither.
Okay, Slither.
Reminds me of The Faculty. And the main protagonist in Severance is the main antagonist in The Faculty.
Jesus Christ, you just the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon with this, man.
I appreciate
You don't know how
these
long
nerds.
I've been waiting to say that.
The main antagonist of The Faculty, I thought that was Robert Patrick.
No.
The football coach?
The woman.
Oh, the
The
woman.
woman came, and she is the main protagonist in Severance.
Oh, the student that ends up being it?
Yeah, she was the first one that had it.
Oh,
Because she didn't take the... She didn't snort the pin.
She didn't snort Josh Hartnett's cocaine?
Yeah, she put her little pinky off the tap and it went out.
I like that you made the drugs sound so innocent just now, too. You're such an innocent man. You're like the new Jim Gaffigan. Is that who the Clean Comics are? You don't have puppets.
No, I'm not.
Oh my God, you're not a prop
what's his
comic, are
name?
you?
What's his name? Jeff Dunham?
Yes, I'm not him. No,
You're not Jeff Dunham?
No.
Who would you compare yourself to?
I don't know. I don't know who I'm like. I'm just like me.
Just that's good. That's good. That's the best way to put things.
I mean, I look up to Mitch. I love Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah, Mitch Hedberg was brilliant, and you have his tone kind of, so I can see that. The last one we even have on our list because it's we don't remember the last 14 years.
Oh no, that's just where the list ends.
Yeah.
I was gonna let you guys get going.
Yeah, and really Slither happened. I think Slither's more mainstream too, and it's also directed by James Gunn.
James Gunn,
who went on to do those fucking shitty Disney movies that nobody talks about.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah,
I mean, one of the biggest franchises out there.
He also wrote Dawn of the Dead remake too.
Slither was brilliant. Slither was another one that I ignored when it came out in the movies. For one, I didn't know James Gunn did it. And the preview to me just looked like shit. I don't know why. The trailer just looked bad. And I remember buying the DVD and being shocked by it. I bought the DVD in a fucking $5 previously viewed thing that the video stores used to have. Love that movie. Super gross.
And speaking of the Walking Dead, old dude's in it.
Old dude.
I can't.
There's a lot of old dudes in Slither, man.
There's a lot of old dudes in Walking Dead. That's why they're the fucking Walking Dead.
Old dude's brother.
Jesus.
Norman,
Michael
Come on,
Rooker.
Michael
You're-
Rooker.
Yeah, Norman.
I was just going to
Norman
let you kind of
from
pull
those,
it out. Yeah,
his brother. Yeah.
Michael Rooker.
Yes, he's in it.
yeah, he's awesome in that
Don't
movie.
you
Yeah.
forget Michael Rooker's fucking name. Jesus.
Oh, sorry, Michael.
Well, Michael Rooker actually stars in one of my favorite horror comedies ever, Henry.
Yes. Yeah. You have that.
Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer is a brilliant horror comedy.
Yeah,
Watch it with the family. Invite the kids over. Invite
my
grandma
God.
over. take my advice.
Do not listen
Get the
to
whole
Derek.
family.
Like Granny.
If you run a school, if you're a teacher and you're looking for just a good, like, fun, whimsical movie to show the kids, show them Henry with Michael Rooker.
Yeah, and Tom Tolles.
It's a good character study. I think they'll learn a lot. I think everybody will come out happy. Those tears, you're going to think they're crying, but they're really tears of joy.
Make sure you wear orange socks.
Wear orange socks. Other than that, what in the last decade, what do we have horror comedy wise besides like the Hatchet franchise and Victor Crowley? Because I really would cover that with like Adam Green.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Which
Like,
we need to do a whole episode on Adam.
we will definitely do one on Adam because I love that guy. I think he's one of the most fan friendly directors out there.
Is that Seth's brother?
See, this is why do we invite him? I don't understand.
I love it.
Banana motherfucker.
Banana mother. Yeah, I did let him borrow. So there's a story behind Banana motherfucker. I did tape trading and all that bullshit. I was in some like group, and the guy claimed he directed it. So he did this tradesy with me, sent me Banana motherfucker. I've never seen it anywhere else, and it's a 15-minute movie about killer bananas, and it's one of my favorite fucking short films. I have Steve over here has his Gore Club bar. I have tried to bring that in and show it. I think 6 times.
Oh, a lot.
And it
man.
never, every time I'm like, here it comes, it's going to work. And for some reason, whatever DVD player he has anytime doesn't fucking play it.
You give it to me on flash drives. You've tried it all, man.
It never works.
It's like that and Deathgasm.
Yeah,
Deathgasm will not fucking play at the Gore Club.
What
the fuck?
But you watched Banana Motherfucker, right?
Yeah, when it first started, I'm like, shit. Subtitles. I hate subtitles because
Fucking reading.
you have to pay attention, look up, look down, look up, look down. Because sometimes the scene moves too fast and, you got to
I just look straight, baby.
Yeah, you're talking to two subtitle reading motherfuckers, especially like
I'm not
foreign
that quick.
films. Yeah.
But
People are rewinding when I said fuck books and thinking about that.
I love the kills. I love the homage to
Nightmare.
And there was one more. That
Well, it's there's Jaws, there's Nightmare.
Jaws,
there's
yeah.
And like for people like, so this guy trades me this movie. I get it in the mail and it's just called Banana Motherfucker. You put it in, runtime, like, I don't know, 12 minutes, and it never stops. And it's literally, it's not giant bananas. It's not a guy dressed as a banana. It's fucking little bananas.
like a Chiquita.
Yeah.
Killing people. And it's literally just people getting murdered for like 12 minutes by these bananas with like this slight story about this indie film crew in the woods trying to do like a cannibal Holocaust style thing, but with bananas. And it's if you can fucking find it somewhere, I don't know where you're going to find it, so I don't even know why we're talking about this, but if you can find it somewhere, I don't know if you dig through your yard and find this movie or know somebody from Portugal that might have it. I feel like I only have the only copy and it only works on very specific DVD players.
Yeah.
But if you can find it, fucking watch it.
PS4. It works just fine. And
it's
the kills are great.
The kills are brilliant, especially for this low budget 15-minute banana movie.
I can't wait to see it.
I know.
I've never been able to see it.
I've been pushing it for so long because I'm always like, just watch this movie. Especially if you're like drunk or inebriated, like watch this fucking movie because you're going to love it. Because it is just like bananas going through people's eyeballs and blood shooting everywhere and people just overreacting, like screaming. Other than that, like there's a ton of like
There's so many. We could be here for
2000s, and we
hour.
would be here forever going over them. I do want to do an episode about Adam Green because of the shit he's done. You saw Victor Crowley, and I'm pretty sure you enjoyed that without even seeing the other Hatchet movies.
It was great.
He has a good way of writing like horror, comedy, and dialogue, and fun kills that make you laugh, which you shouldn't laugh when people die. It's bad. Unless you're watching Henry with your students, which you should.
Kane's a good villain, too. I feel like, Kane was like meant to be a villain.
Oh, yeah. He
Kane
pretty much
Hodder.
wrote that role for him.
Yeah, he's meant to be a slasher.
Kane Hodder's like a natural villain, and we'll probably do like a retrospective about that dude one day too, because he doesn't just have Friday. We have even Wishmaster just appearing in that, and all the movies he's done like random stunts in and shit, and House 2, and then of course his run is Victor Crowley. But we're gonna start wrapping shit up here. I know we probably missed some movies that you love. If we talked about every horror comedy, we would have to do a 24-hour marathon.
This is a long episode as it is.
I don't get that. Yeah, I mean, fucking Ryan Riker over here, comedian Ryan Riker. But where could we find this guy once we become dust in the wind?
September 10th, 11th, and 12th. I will be at the Caravan on Thursday, the 10th, 7 to 7:30 show, and then the 11th and 12th is 7:15, 9:15. And our last call is at 9:45 because of COVID.
There you go, people. It's easy. Remember, September 11th, never forget. It's easy.
Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville, Kentucky.
All right, guys. I think we're going to wrap this up. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you can, please go to YouTube, like and subscribe our YouTube page. You can find us on all of your apps that you can think of when it comes to podcasts. And I want to thank all of our new listeners in the UK, the EU, Australia, France, Germany, Russia, Puerto Rico, and Costa Rica, and fucking, what was it? Russia.
I bet they all got banana motherfucker.
I'm so happy that people are listening to us and actually give a shit. Even for 5 minutes, I don't give a fuck. Thank you all so much, man.
Yeah, man, that's cool. Bye.
And next week, Dave will be back.
Hopefully.
Thank you.